Outlaw Radio, Hump Day Edition, Wednesday evening. Welcome to the show. Outlaw Radio, Big Milwaukee. It's Big Milwaukee tonight. Show is dedicated to the city of Milwaukee, to the city I was born and raised in. So, welcome to the show. I'm Kevin Barnes. I'm the host. I'm also known in some circles as the Negro Whisperer. I'm not alone. I got a co-host, and I'm gonna let him talk. Right? Like so. What's going on with you, bro? Your mic's muted.
All right, there we go. There we go. All right, man. I'm good, man. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I am the black woman lover, the black man's brother, the culture teacher, hood healer, the ghetto witch doctor, your holistic health and wellness coach, Mr. Kamar Carter. Peace, y'all.
Man, and like any other night, man, we encourage if you have something positive going on, something you want to promote, some business that you want to do, hit us up, man. We can make a lot of things happen. So welcome to the show. I also got my other co-host in the building, Mr. Hugh Hefner himself.
What's happening, man?
What's going on, Rail?
Hey, you having a lot of fun with that, Rail, ain't
He is, man, but it's all good. You know, I got many aliases. I got Dank Sinatra.
Hey, look,
I got Milwaukee Red. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's how I wound up the witch doctor from him, man.
It's all good. How y'all doing?
Man, it's all good, man. I see you got your electric blue on tonight. What's good with you?
Man, you know, just chilling, man. You know, happy to be here. Happy to be in my right mind, man. My uncle was missing for like 48 hours and shit. You know, that mind shit happened real quick. He was in the hospital and they discharged him without calling my folk. And he gave the cab driver his childhood address. That just show you how that mind thing be, man. He ain't lived there since 64 or some shit, you know, but I'm just glad he was found, man. You know, it makes me glad to be in my right mind. I tell everybody, as long as I'm awake, aware, and able to wipe my own ass, I got everything I need to achieve everything I desire. So this is just a testament of that.
Right away, man. Well said. Can't disagree with. But they say, "Where's the lies in that?" Hey, it's Big Milwaukee tonight, man. I hope people are ready. We big up in the city tonight. We're gonna tell the truth about the city too, but we're gonna big up the city. I don't know if you can do both. I'm going to attempt to do so. Phone number is 262-202-5131. 262-202-5131. Shout out to Sonia Thrower. That's Sonia. I can't read. Sonia Thrower. She said I'm from Milwaukee, but I live in Camden, Arizona. What's going on, my sister? Yeah. What's going on? Hit us up, man. If you got something to say, the chat room's on deck. I see you, brother. Paris LaShawn, Che and Kruma from Frontline Black News. Shout out to him too. Shout out to everybody, man. Share the show. But it's Big Milwaukee, man. We're gonna talk about that. Now, normally I'd be on tomorrow night. I'm not gonna do Outlaw Nation this week. I'm gonna start it back up next week. So this week we just did Monday and Wednesday. The Big Black Sports Show is on hiatus until, for about a month or so. Give us a chance to recharge our batteries. But yeah, man, I'm happy to be here again tonight, man, because it's a lot going on in the country as usual. Some things that are pertinent to black people, some conversations that black people should be having, right? And so this is where we get to do that at in a judgment-free zone, a free zone to express yourself, right? Like you can get it off your chest on Outlaw motherfucking Radio. So welcome aboard, man. Big Milwaukee, man. Let's talk about Milwaukee, my brothers. I was born and raised here. I believe both of y'all. Well, come on. Were you born in Milwaukee? Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
Couldn't have been no other way.
Right.
Look at me.
Right. Okay. Said I look like I'm from Milwaukee.
You know what I'm saying? I got the
look. Real, you was born and raised in the city, or was you born somewhere else, or?
Oh no, man! I was born here. Grew up off Green Bay. Went to Phillip Elementary School off 4100 block.
Yeah. I know you already. That's my neighborhood over there. So we already talked about that a many times. I was right there on Capitol. But my point is, do we take what amount of ownership do we take in this city, being from this city? And I know people say like, "What? That's a stupid question." I think it's important in terms of what needs to be done for the city, So if you say, you know, this is my city, this is where I'm from, or a lot of people say I'm from Milwaukee, but it just wasn't, I couldn't do it. I just had to go, or I'm about to go because it's too rough, because this is an acquired taste.
Yeah,
So it's
it
like,
may be that for some people.
yeah,
It
it's
may
like a
be too
complicated
rough.
relationship a little bit. So I want to get y'all take on. Come on, what would your synopsis of Black Milwaukee be if somebody was to, you go out of town and somebody say, you from Milwaukee? Tell me about that.
Okay, well, I would have to tell them of the Milwaukee what I know now. You know what I mean? The people who I know. Cause see, I have good experiences in Milwaukee. I don't go to the. I don't be in bullshit places where a lot of time where bullshit is prone to go down. You know what I mean? So for the most part, I got good to say. You know what I mean? I be at places like the Garden over there. You know what I mean? The different events that I go to. You know what I'm saying? So I would tell people about the type of stuff that I do in Milwaukee. So if they come to Milwaukee, they can have the experience that I have. If they want to know what in Milwaukee I want to know. So like I say, I'm gonna talk about the Afro Fest, the Black events, the vegan events. You know what I'm saying? Everything that I'm about. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So you approach it from a positive perspective. This is what I'm.
Exactly. So, cause see, I think if you focus on what's good, if you're looking for good, you're gonna get good. If you're looking for bad, you're gonna get bad. That's
Okay.
you know what I'm saying. So if I'm gonna have somebody come to Milwaukee, if somebody asking me about it because they thinking about coming, I want them to come looking for good stuff. I want them to come looking for love, because that's what they're gonna get when they come to the places where I be.
Okay. Real, what's your synopsis if you had to, when you on the turf somewhere and somebody say, you from Milwaukee, brother? What's that like? Black people there?
Man, and you know what? That's what I get. I either get one or two things. Like, damn, black people in Wisconsin, or I get, man, I heard Milwaukee rough as hell. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some people look at us like how we look at other cities, you know. But just like Kamar said, man, I believe it's all about where you spend your time and energy. You know, I used to hate going out because I didn't really want to be around that kind of crowd. I didn't want to be around the club crowd or traffic. I hated that shit. So I
Okay.
never wanted to go out until I stumbled across like the eccentric group. You know, like I said, I kick it with the poets, the artists, the hippies, stoners, you know, psychonauts. So I got love for my city. You know, this is all I know. I done been to other places, you know what I'm saying? And you know, it's be refreshing to see other cultures and how they move. But at the end of the day, man, there's some beautiful, brilliant people here. And hopefully we start outshining the riffraff.
You come and have a good time in Milwaukee if you ain't got no kid.
You get the first one of the night, right?
Yeah.
Right. Oh man. I
But
mean,
you get what I'm saying.
all of that's very valid, man. I feel y'all on all of that. And so like for my thing is, I guess the way I'm wired to say, if I had to describe Milwaukee, it would probably be in a different way, because I would speak about Milwaukee like I feel like we've had for a very long time this complex of other cities, right? Because it's not Chicago, it's not Detroit, it's not, you know, Boston or Cleveland or cities that just kind of have like a name brand kind of appeal to them all. I'm from, and don't let it be California. Damn near anywhere you from in California. Well, you know, in LA or whatever. Did you say you from wherever? People, oh, okay. So I feel like Milwaukee is always kind of campaign. We had like a middle child syndrome. Because think about it, we sit in Minneapolis to the west, Chicago to the south, Detroit to the east, and then you just got, you know, you got cities, major cities all over the place. And people, the fact that you would go somewhere and some black person would have the audacity to ask you, are there black people in Milwaukee? It's kind
After
of a
you
slap
Yeah.
in the face, right? I like
after
I've
you
never
just told them I'm from
right,
Milwaukee.
right. What is it? It's black people from I didn't even order that. I didn't even
I
know it was
just
black
told
people.
you I'm from Milwaukee.
Right. And so I'm saying I feel like people from here, a lot of times we've often had a chip on our shoulder. Like when you go somewhere else and you around, you like, hey man, check this shit out, man. Ain't no, you know, I ain't no bitch over here. I'm from Milwaukee, right? People be like, you from where? Like, oh man. So I feel like some of the things that we see in the city, the way some people carry on and put on, is so as to say, hey man, we somebody too, right? It ain't just about Chicago.
I see what you're saying.
You know,
Right.
it's niggas here too. We got hoods here too, cuz. You know, all that rubbing shit. And that's part of the what's affecting our mentality, right? Like, right. Because think about it. We have, people say, you gonna go out, we going out in Milwaukee. Where you going? Ain't no clubs. You go out in Chicago, you in Miami. You don't say that. Where your ass going? You can't go too far. You go, it's off Fond du Lac or somewhere. Like you in the hood. When you go, you see the latest shit that's on the internet, whatever fad trend it is, you see it when you go out on Friday night. It's us copying off what we see from other places. Not a whole lot that's necessarily unique. Now, there are some Milwaukee-isms, right? Like Kamar just touched on it when he said the look. Like cats, especially in our age group, dress a certain way. You can tell you from the mill. Yeah, man, how you know? Right. Because your shoes, your hat, and your shirt all match, right? It has to match for us. Like, I don't go with that. Like, my wife get on me like, it doesn't all have to be blue, Kevin. I'm not a blue shirt and some blue pants. You gotta have blue hat. Milwaukee shit. And it's some of the way we move, some of the ways we move. So I said all that to say, I want to first of all acknowledge that you did say that there are some beautiful, brilliant, intelligent, loving people in Milwaukee, Black people. We absolutely know that, right? Milwaukee used to have a real thick Black kind of soul, kind of power, like Black power consciousness. Like we in our community, it was a lot of networking and a lot of real, real Black people stuff. Now, not so much, right? Like so the soul is leaving a little bit. But there's a core of Black people here who want to do better. Now, what is the reason? Why are we? Now, people say, Kev, it ain't just about wanting to be like Detroit or Chicago. Let's look at the systematic nature of it. Let's look at the statistical nature of it in terms of people of color. We know for a very long time Milwaukee has been voted like the worst place to raise a child for a Black person, the worst place to have to be a Black family, right? Like it's one of the most segregated cities in the country, right? We know this. We know there's so many inequities here when it comes to basic Black people and white people. So when you talk about the median income and you say the average Black household, when you say median income, 29.5. The average white median income for a household is 60, right? Which is, and even you talk about overall unemployment in the city, whatever the city is, normally the Black rate doubles that. So we have these kinds of factors in place. Of course, we know we have intense crime right now, right? Like this crazy homicide, crazy, just off the chain. Like I've never seen it, and I've been here my whole life. These are some of the things that are going on in the city. So it's like, well, people say, well, I'm not proud to be from this motherfucker. I want to get out of here. I hate this damn city. This shit is too crazy. Goddamn kid boys and all this. And you deserve, if you feel that way, that's fine. That's fine, right? But tell me this, where are you going to go that's going to be a utopia for people of color? Because if you can name a place where we can go and it's all on the one for us, you ain't got to worry about that shit. I feel like if you go to any major city, like I said, we all mirror each other. You know what I'm saying? We all mirror, so we all know there's the same kind of shit going on in Milwaukee, usually going on in another major city, even if you give or take a few. So maybe we got Kia boys up here, but they got some boys who do something totally different down there. They the brick boys. They throw bricks on the highway over there. Right. So I'm just saying, I wanted to analyze into big Milwaukee because I feel like when we say we want to stay and fight, or do you want to stay and fight? Or is there a reason to stay and fight? These are the questions that we kind of want to address. I mean, I feel like it's what they call it, the State of the Union address for Black people in Milwaukee, because what do we have here? What are we sitting on? What's the end game here for us? Do we even have an agenda? I don't think we actually do.
I think before we can come up with an agenda with each other, we need an agenda with ourselves.
Okay.
We need to get ourselves together, man. That's why we can't get together.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We ain't even got ourselves together, man. That's why we can't get together and do shit. We need to focus on ourselves. Let's start healing ourselves of a bunch of these traumas. You know what I mean? Fixing some of these trust issues, This is why black people can't get together, because we can't trust each other. You know what I mean? You got a bunch of black people with bad intent out here. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is where the trust issues come from, because they're running into the other black people with the bad intent. So the people with the bad intent got to fix themselves. You know what I mean? So we got to focus on ourselves first. Let's just keep it simple, man. Life is easy. We make it hard.
I don't even know if it's about like getting because I think it'd be impossible to get every black person on the same page. I'm going to go ahead
and we focus on ourselves.
Right. But I do think there needs to be, once again, I keep saying a minority amongst the majority. Like there has to be a group of people who can agree and be able to connect and make certain connections. Things
as you heal yourself, your love for self grows, and also does the love for others. That's just how it works, man. You start understanding your connection with others. You start understanding how we are connected. You know what I mean? If you love yourself, you're going to love them. You're going to love your brother. That's just how this shit works, man.
Shout out to Crystal Ship. She said, I'm from Chicago and Milwaukee has been amazing to me. Milwaukee's blessed me tremendously. Shout out to Crystal Ship and Ticey Gotsy. Control C in the building. She says she's been blessed.
Control C in the building.
She's been blessed with amazing opportunities in the dope ass village. Sonia Thrower, she's agreeing about Milwaukee. She says she loves it. And then MC Tone comes in and says, I don't even trust my hoes.
You better not. You better not. You got a bunch of hoes. You better not trust them.
MC Tone in the building, right? As usual. But so yeah, I mean, listen, and like I said, if we're gonna give a synopsis of the city, right? And then I kind of linked it to being kind of like a state of the union for us, because that's really what the conversation is about. Really, that was my whole purpose of just doing the whole big Milwaukee thing, is for us to really take a look at what we have here. What are we sitting on? Like where opportunities, there's opportunities there to be had, some of which we are not taking advantage of. We are missing something. And it's here. It's right before our eyes. And I would hate for like 10, 15, 20 years down the line when I can't even enjoy the shit somebody come up with and say, this shit was here the whole time. And they get to kick it. We all fucked up. We can't I don't want that to happen. Because the one thing we do a good job at is programming ourselves. Like we really get ourselves kind of set in this kind of rhythm where we move a certain way, and we don't never really want to upset the rhythm, because that would to change something. But what we do is we jump in. Like you doing it, I'm doing it, we doing it, everybody doing it. It's like that. Like rarely do you find somebody be like, nah, I'm good, I'm gonna go my own way. And so that's how like the Kia Boy shit and all, like a lot of crimes I feel like are copycat crimes. Like I see cats hear about them they see them on a movie, or they hear about it on a song or something like that, see it in a video and try to emulate it. All the way down to the shit they say when they finish shoot. Like, well, I don't air this motherfucker out. I'm about to say I'm gonna get the blicky. I sound horrible with the new shit, right? Like, can't even say blicky. What the fuck is a blicky? Yeah. Damn mind. But I'm just saying, like, how do we put something into place where positive things start to become trends? Like, you know what, dog? We should just focus on business and getting money, like figuring out ways to generate income. Like, let that be the latest, slick shit to do. How do we get people on that as opposed to, nah, man, I'm about to just air this motherfucker out like they did on so-and-so. Because cat's bad about that.
Be the example.
Okay.
I think be the example. You know what I'm saying? Because, we learn off sight. Like you said, Kev, you know what I mean? We see stuff and we want to do it.
Yeah, we want to jump right.
You know what I mean? So we got to be the example. So even with just working on yourself, you know what I mean? Let's start being more transparent with working on ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And others can see it, and maybe that'll work.
Right.
I wouldn't, I wouldn't shoot nothing down. You know what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't shoot nothing down that we haven't tried.
Yeah.
That's why I'm trying to come up with all different shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's focus on ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Let's work on ourselves. instead of worrying about what everybody gonna do.
And we don't want to be too much self. It creates what we got now, which is a city of silos, because everybody about self. I don't even fuck with you. I'm about me.
Hey, and see, that's why earlier when I was speaking, I said, when you work on yourself, you start loving on yourself more. And when that love for self grows, so does your love for community.
Courtney, what's good?
See, Kev, you thinking of some freak shit. I see why you keep laughing every time I say, hey, look, every time I say love on yourself, Kevin Green.
Oh, my froze.
I just noticed it.
Hey, you're the one who keeps saying it like, we got to love on ourselves. It's about loving on yourself.
Hey man,
don't have sex with himself. Like,
right. I know they people out there like this brother right here, boy. He loving on yourself. Like, man. Yeah. What's going on, Courtney?
How y'all doing? I'm good.
Hey, Courtney and Rail know what I'm talking about.
Right.
I know
Kev always trying to switch some shit up, man.
Yeah.
Always trying to be funny and shit.
It's Big Milwaukee tonight, baby. This is Big Milwaukee, Outlaw Radio, man. Shit, North Side, right?
When you say Big Milwaukee, you make me want to throw a GD sign. And when you say Big Milwaukee, that's the main thing.
See, I didn't want you to throw. I don't want you to throw no G in there.
I'm not gonna throw up no GD sign. I'm just saying. See, it look like.
Whoa. Big Milwaukee, but I feel the energy. That energy is what I'm talking about.
That's the energy of it. I wouldn't do it, kid. No.
Big Milwaukee. A lot of dudes automatically, as soon as you say it, they throw their shit up. Like, yeah, good.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Go to dancing and shit. You done learned about a block you ain't never heard of, man. Them easy threes. What the hell is the easy threes? Oh, you ain't never heard of us? Okay, bro. Nice Big Milwaukee. Right. Right, like Kamar said, go somewhere and love on yourself.
Right.
Maybe if people loved on themselves more, we wouldn't have so much violence.
Most definitely.
But very
Most
true.
Definitely.
We might have more.
That is very true.
Yeah,
it causes you stop you from making bad decisions too. You know what I'm saying? Before you make that call or that text, love on yourself, and it might save you from some shit.
Man, come on, man.
Well, also, you know what I'm saying? Like when you really, I say a measure of how you love yourself. 2 ways to measure how you love yourself. One is how you allow people to treat you.
Okay.
Right. 2 is the situations you put yourself in.
Right, that's true.
You know what I mean? Because see, we put ourselves in positions to where we can harm ourselves. You know what I mean? Where we can do harm to ourselves. Different decisions you make. Okay, if you don't know what to do, is it life giving or is it life threatening? Think like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, like, if you love yourself, you know what I mean? The measure of how you love yourself is the situations you allow yourself to be in and how you allow people to treat you.
Come on. I wanted to say this too. I want to say this. MC Tone is crazy in the chat room. Every time I get ready to say something serious, he wild in the chat room, right? I want to say this though. One of the hardest things that it is to do, and you know this, and we all know this, it's very hard to teach someone how to love themselves. It is the hardest thing to do in the world. You can teach them how to love the cars or the money or the jewelry or the clothes.
You can't teach them.
When we say people,
that's something they got to learn themselves.
Right. So it's a long process. So I'm saying that to say we got to be a little bit more immediate with some of our remedies, because that, of course, long term you want that to go up, but that's something that's gonna take, because it needs there has to be other things to reinforce that for that to happen. Like you got to put other like kind of things in place for these people who really suffer really badly from this. Somebody who just really don't feel like they got no kind of self-worth. They might say, "Oh, I love myself" and all this.
Hey,
but
man, I'm gonna tell you, everybody on this earth got room to love themselves some more.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
You know what I'm saying? That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing that's like an anomaly. You know what I'm saying? Like this is running rampant in the community. So again, you know what I mean? We have to be, that's what I said, let's be transparent with some of this work that we do on ourselves and with ourselves. Let's start being more transparent. Let's start letting people see us, what we doing. You know what I mean? Okay, this is what I'm working on, and they actually see me working on myself with it. Whether it's I want to stop cussing,
Right.
You know what I mean? People in the community, they watching me working on that. I stop, you know, whatever it is. You know what I mean? But I just think we have to allow people to see us doing better. You know what I mean? We have to allow it, man, and that's how we learn.
Sonia Thrower said, old school, yes. She said it's 100. MC Tony said, I was loving on myself when the police gave me a ticket.
Yeah, yo.
Oh man, MC Tone. Hey, we're gonna extend this though, because like I said, there's a lot. Okay, so to sum it up, there's a lot to be proud of if you're from here. And Courtney, you wasn't born in Milwaukee, right? Like, and I've heard Courtney say plenty of times, I hate this motherfucker. I'm on the first thing smoking, right? Like, so because we big up in Milwaukee. So how you feel? You here, you with us. Like you might as well say you one of us now.
I should keep freezing up and restarting. I don't know. I want to blame y'all, but I'm sure it's just me.
Right.
So
I'm pretty sure it's you today. You the one who on tonight, not us. Is she freeze again? Because I want to. Maybe you might have to come out and come back in. She might have to come back. She might have to reset her connection.
Okay.
So okay. There's an elephant in the room. We'll get back to Milwaukee. We'll get back. It's always room to talk shit about Milwaukee. That's what we do on the show. Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Outlaw Radio, the People's Network. That's what we do. So if you got something you want to add to the conversation, 202-5131. And because like I said, I know we have a lot of problems. But what's home? Like home got to be somewhere, right? Like, and so
yeah.
I'm gonna move here because it's rough up here. But as a black person, no matter where you move, it's going to be some sort of thing there. I mean, you know, might look better, I couldn't afford this kind of neighborhood in Milwaukee or whatever, but it's always going to be something, especially if you're a person of color. So if we're going to stay here, then we need to make things so that people won't want to leave here. Like we got to make it so black people say, nah, this is cool for us. We getting this together for us. The hope and the optimism that everybody has right now is because we have all these black elected officials who are you know, the mayor, the chief of police, the county executive, you know, even the city attorney and all these people of color. Even the president of the Common Council is a Latino man, which depending on where you stand at is for us or against us. I don't know. Some Latinos don't like black people. I don't know what that should be about. You know? Right. But so, I mean, maybe because I do jokes about them sometimes. I don't know. But I don't have money against Latino people. Honestly. Nah, man, I ain't gonna do that tonight. I'm trying to get him not mad at me, right? He gonna hype me up. Do one, Kev. Do the one about Juan. Like, I'm all they have mad at me. Shout out to Anthony Cooley. He said Brewtown in the building. Right. Another North Sidian, native North Sidian, man. That's what I'm saying. Because when you ain't in the city, you carrying that with you, man. You be holding on to that. You be holding on to that tough. Let's see. We got a caller on the phone.
That with you, man. You be holding on. Hi.
How you doing? What's your name? Where you calling from? You got to turn your device down. We got a horrible echo.
Yes, I'm with you, man. You be holding on. Hi. Okay, this is Sonia Thrower.
How you doing, ma'am?
Peace.
Hi. I'm from Milwaukee. I was born and raised in Milwaukee.
Okay.
They need to better the crime and stuff because it's ridiculous what I see on my phone and I hear on the news now.
Yes, it is. It's horrible.
And these kids today, when we was coming up, the parents on the block could tell you not to do that. And you better not do it, or you can get a whoop by them and then go home and get your ass whooped.
Yep, just like that. In those words.
So, you know,
now I'm gonna call your mama so she can whoop your ass.
Yes, especially in school. When they break up a fight, you're gonna get whooped at school, and then when you get home, you know you're getting you whoop again.
But now, I don't know that whoopings work though, because we've debated the value of whoopings.
When I got whoopings with a cinch, a belt. Everybody at school know you got a whooping with a cinch cord, because look what, oh girl, you must got whooping last night.
But that is not black people from going to jail though. Like whoopings didn't. If it had to work, we wouldn't have like generations of incarcerated. Because I mean, what they become criminals.
I don't know, Kev. That's a deep dive.
It taught me a good lesson.
Okay.
Because I've been, I have been to jail a couple of times, but I had to learn, ain't worth going to jail for what, something stupid, get in trouble for something stupid, especially women. They want to fight over a man when he don't want you, he don't want her, then he got someone new.
Right. But okay, so you said you went to jail a couple times, but you got beat when you was growing up, so the beatings didn't really work then. So like, don't it got to be a better way to teach black people something than beating them all? But I keep saying that's something we picked up from our slave masters. When you want to teach a black person something, you got to beat their ass, right? Like, I'm gonna teach you a lesson.
Now you got to teach these kids now. Don't go do something stupid, because if you don't want to get your ass whooped by your mama, the white man gonna kill you.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that as well.
Yep, I've heard that.
I just think we had to change up, because black people like to lean on that. Like, beat them kids' ass, beat their ass. And he's like, wait, hold on, man. You can't be kicking shit and hitting them with all kinds of foreign objects. Because think about the irony of, I had a fight with somebody, so you whooped me to show me that I shouldn't fight nobody else. Do that make sense? Like, okay, you had a fight at school, you come home and then I'm gonna whoop your ass. You ain't gonna be fighting, really? So it's crazy. I just always thought the dynamics of the ass whooping was funny. Like, your mama, you get caught sneaking some of her cigarettes, she whoop your ass, but she smokes 3 packs a day. Right, but I'm whooping your ass for smoking, because I'm gonna teach you not to smoke by beating you around you. Right, like it's just my whole dilemma. I said I got issues.
Growing up, wrong from right, so teach the kids, don't do that. Ain't worth the time.
Yes.
And then you're gonna try to get a good job, then you can't get a good job.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah.
And then they'll be mad when they can't get a good job because of your background.
Right. Then
don't act a donkey and do a donkey.
Then they're gonna whoop somebody's kids bad and abuse them because they mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
they gonna kill them.
Where you reside at now? You said you're from Milwaukee. Where you live at now?
I live in Camden, Arkansas. I can't. Well, my mother. This my mother's father's hometown. My mother moved back home, and I
came Arkansas.
She went home to heaven.
Okay.
So, but I'm thinking about moving back to Milwaukee.
I don't know. This might not be a good time.
I
You might want to chill for a second, right? Like, that's what we talking about tonight. Trying to get it better.
We're trying to figure some stuff out here.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Let's work it out first.
Down here, you can sit down, enjoy yourself. Up there, you got to duck and dodge, and you can't enjoy yourself sitting outside. And that's bad.
Yeah, we got to get some things together. I sure enough appreciate your support. And thank you for calling in to the show.
And everybody know I'm from Milwaukee because I got on my car.
Uh-oh.
And where you from?
Yeah.
That's that big Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying? They want to throw it up again.
Milwaukee.
Big Milwaukee.
Look, they know me down here. Sonya Pooh. They know Sonya Pooh from Milwaukee. What?
That's
your
nickname.
And a fight can come with it.
That's her nickname down there, Big Milwaukee. Here come Big Milwaukee. Y'all better
watch out there now.
Real funny. Real funny. But I'll be up there in August for the class reunion. I ain't never been to one.
Yeah, all right.
So,
congratulations.
Oh, I bet that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be good. I want to go.
To Washington up until my junior year, then I went to South Division. But I'm coming to Washington class reunion.
Oh wow.
Mm.
What year is that? What year is that? What year is that?
Oh, 84. Class of 84.
Is that when they used to call it Herbie High?
That was during my era. I think.
That was later on.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
that
think.
was
No,
my
never.
era.
Hey, you said it's the Milwaukee shit though. Like this
I
is some
remember
Northside shit. Like you know that if you from Milwaukee that they call Washington Herbie High. Like I never knew why.
I don't think it was
that
1984.
that was later on.
Oh, okay. Okay, maybe
Nah, that
it
was
was.
like later on.
I know it was well before I got to high school, and I was in high school in the 90s. So people listen like, damn, they all old. Yeah, we're all old. Class of what?
Born and raised 1965.
Oh
So-
wow, yeah. Now you's a little ahead of me.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
We want you to keep repping Big Milwaukee and Arkansas, my sister. We want to thank you for calling
Oh,
in.
I am. Y'all keep it up. I'm gonna keep watching y'all.
Oh, we
I'm
sure
watching
will.
Man, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Now.
Everybody ways.
Y'all good night. That was my cousin.
What she was saying though, that's because
That's my cousin.
Are you serious?
Nah.
okay.
Oh, I was gonna say.
We all cousins. You know we all cousins.
For
right.
sure.
We all
No,
cousins.
it's
But just like she was saying though, like we was talking about crime earlier and shit like that. You gotta think about just like how she was saying how back in the day, we had A.O. Smith, the breweries and shit like that. So folk came from down south to work and get that good money. Then they were homeowners. They inspired the kids because Mr. Johnson got that new lack, and they know that he worked at the Wisconsin Bell and shit. So that's where they wanted
Got a
to
good
work.
job.
So,
Got a good
right,
job.
you know what I'm saying? So it kind of speaks to what happened because it was almost like a lot of people flocked in to get that money. They was getting that money for decades, having kids, and then the rug was pulled out from under them. Just no different than Detroit, who had the cars factories and shit like that, and everywhere else. So that's pretty much what happened. Yeah, so that's pretty much what happens. Like even we even had like our own little not Tulsa, Oklahoma, but Brownsville. We had Brownsville before they put 43 through it. That was prominent black area, black business owners, nightclubs, white motherfuckers used to come to kick it at the jazz spots. So we know what happened. They took the jobs away, which took the homeowners away, and now since there's no ownership, people don't give a fuck about shit. Like I'm like one of the only
because I 100% agree
for
with
sure.
what you're saying because I was alive during the time when we had the highest median income for black people in the country. When talking about Mr. Johnson with his new car, he worked here, he worked there. Like it was jobs everywhere. Like Milwaukee was slick. See, a lot of us have that basis. See, I'm old enough to have that base of when I was little, it was sweet in Milwaukee. Like in terms of what you say.
So you old as a motherfucker.
I am. I'm 46 years old.
Damn.
I'm 46. Yeah. In the 70s, we had the highest standard of living. So what I'm saying is my love for Milwaukee is based on the fact that it was a slick place to grow up for me. We had every fucking thing. We big ass parks and pools and all basketball courts and go to lakefront. It was fun as shit. And it wasn't as bad as it is now. Now that industrial collapse when the jobs left, they left the city, right? So I don't want to say right now that if you black, there ain't no jobs because there are some jobs. You might have to go a little bit further to get them. And there's some jobs.
McDonald's giving 15.
You can work and have that same kind of community, but we don't. For whatever reason, we ain't doing it now. Like back then, we came from a situation where you talking about Brownsville where you couldn't really live above Walnut. You couldn't live north of Walnut. Like they had these boundaries that black people couldn't live in. But that was so long ago. But I feel like it was just why kind of like we got love for the city. Whereas if you moved here in 95, you probably don't got the same kind of like this shit is horrible. But the shit used to actually be a fucking great place. Hey, go-kart parks and shit like that to go to. It was kids always had something to do. So oh my god, MC Tone in the chat room, he said his mama whooped him with her car. Because we was talking about whooping. Wait a minute now, MC Tone went to Washington High School class of 2001. I call a cap on that. MC Tone, you know it wasn't 2001.
You
Maybe
see, I was like,
1901,
Like, what?
1911, 1921.
Shit, I was 2001.
Right.
Right.
You didn't go to school with me, MC Tone. What you talking about? Ace Cooley said we also had shit to do at the school during the summer. We had AAU, we had the Boys and Girls Club. Right, that's what
They
I'm saying.
still have the Boys and Girls Club though.
It don't run the
Motherfuckers just
same
don't
way
go.
though. It don't run the same. Right, it don't run the same way like it did. It was more of a free flowing entity then, because cats from the neighborhood actually came in there to Boys and Girls Club. Right, like they come in the Boys and Girls Club to Boys and Girls Club. That's what they doing. We up here and here Boys and Girls Clubbing. Now they just come up in there, they duck off on the police, something, be in there with a little beef, coming there, use the internet because you ain't got no Wi-Fi, so you can look at your little social media site. Young people just kind of do crazy shit. Yes, we had black upper middle class population. I feel like everything went to hell when Scott Walker got the whole Milwaukee. Well, no, it's very simple. This is very simple. This is the crack epidemic. You look at the year when it really changed. It culminated with all of the factories closing and leaving. 1984. 1984 is a very important year in crackism, right? If you research crackism, how crack came to be in the community, the crack epidemic. I said crackism. But it's 1984 is a pivotal year. That's when the floodgates kind of open, and that's when Milwaukee catches a hold to it, and it's all down from there. Like you get to 87, 88, this motherfucker looked like baby Detroit. Like what the hell happened? Crack fucking.
I'm saying, but look, it's the people from my era whose parents were the crackheads, and we was the motherfuckers that was at the Boys and Girls Club and doing all these activities. So, I'm just saying, like, so this new era, seeing that we what the fuck is wrong with them? It's like because they doing other shit. I think it's more of the world that has them fucked up. The motherfucking music more than anything. Social media, all these different things. They copying all this shit. All of them doing perks and shit, doing just everything that they see. We didn't have all these different things. Who was doing codeine? Pimp C? Maybe that shit was kind of new. We was young. That nigga died. We like, damn, what he died from? What he was doing?
Hey, Courtney, motherfuckers was doing that shit back in the motherfucking 80s.
See,
70s.
we didn't even.
I
But
was
now
kids, I didn't know.
I think it started getting real popular like right after I got out of high school. Like say around 96, it really started flooding. Like, you know what I mean? DJ Screw down there in Texas with that movement. You know what I'm saying? They really got that lane popping.
See, and people from my era, we wasn't doing that shit at that time. But it's like now in our mid-20s, late 30s, motherfuckers are the same time that these teenagers are. So it's like they have the same influences, the same shit that's influencing us now as 30-year-olds. They stupid ass. It's the same shit that's influencing the goddamn teenagers. And it's just the fucking world. They dumbass.
The pills were there, but they wasn't as bad because there was some cats who used to get they used to take pills like back in the day. Yeah. Kamara is absolutely correct. The lean comes directly out of the South from that DJ Screw stuff because we wasn't even, and I take it back because I don't because they didn't call it lean. It's just people who like on that would drink cough syrup. They didn't call it lean.
Down south they did.
My uncle he just drink cough syrup. He didn't call it
like everywhere else around the country when they was doing it. Yeah, they was just drinking it or calling it syrup.
See, but then we had who popularized it? Wayne? Was it Wayne? Because maybe that is when it started getting popular, like with us. I'm saying maybe he popped it with that double cut.
Hey, you know why they call it? You know why they call it shit lean?
You start seeing that shit in music videos with everybody.
Conversation like heroin.
That's what it is.
But you're right though, Courtney. It was like Wayne. That there was a movement that came after Screw, in which a lot of them got to do, and it got bigger even afterwards, like from the DJ Screw thing. So, but I mean, I said all that to say that because youth, we're talking about the youth right now, and so she was alluding to the fact that kids right now is just on some other shit. The pill thing is crazy, but it's always been there. The weed thing, people think cocaine. Come on, man, been there forever. Yeah, all the way back to the 50s, the 60s. We go 30s, 20s. Like, so it ain't like these kids invented nothing. Right. They just the latest and greatest to like embrace it and then overdo it. The same way we did it. Same when my generation heard the chronic, we went crazy. Blunts became you couldn't even get a single Philly in the store in Milwaukee back then. You had to go to Walgreens and buy the whole box at first.
The whole box.
Once the chronic came, blunt sales went through the roof to the point where the Arabs had a whole display. I got cigar for you. I got Philly, I got the White Island, I got the Swisher Sweet. We been smoking Optimo, all kinds, right? And that's the start because we get a hold. They smoke joints. We got a hold of blunts and took it to a whole other level. So
I remember
that's what you do.
Hey, I remember in '93, me and my guy, right after we graduated, I went to Cincinnati with him. And that's where our first guy hit the blunts. They was rolling swishers down there, right? When me and my guy came back to Milwaukee, we couldn't find swishers nowhere, man. We was trying to roll them with half a Tampas.
Oh.
Horrible.
Oh, man.
Horrible. Then until we found that spot. It's a spot downtown, a cigar shop next to the riverside. And we found that spot coming home from school one day, and they had swishers in there. You got 2 for 1 from there back then. 2 boxes. Like, it was
had to go all the way downtown for a blunt. So I'm just saying, like, right?
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Right, we can overdo it.
Shout out to the cigar shop. What is it, Eulalie? Something like that. Yuli.
I don't know the name of it. I forgot.
Yeah.
Ace, you got a point when you say Chicago also started moving to Milwaukee. Chicago did a lot of damage to the city too. A lot of Chicago people came to Milwaukee and just ran rampant. I'm not gonna even lie to you, like, because it's a different kind of dude. Chicago got a different kind of people. I don't know if you ever been there or you got. I got a lot of family in Chicago. They're different kinds of people, right? Like when you go over there, you be like, oh shit, it's Chicago. Oh, my bad. Okay, I get it. So when they brought that over here, then it forced us to get a little bit more grimy. And then you had brothers here just start doing like shit. Hey, we just act like they act in Chicago, I guess. And so it just became, man, just ridiculous, man. I remember back in the days, the thing that when he wanted you to think he was tough, but I'm from the city. I ain't from here. I'm from the shop. Dudes used to be like, oh man, dude from Chicago. Then it got to the point I was like, so what, motherfucker? It was like then it just got worse. So we gonna talk about big Milwaukee. We repping Milwaukee tonight. If you just tuning into the show, rep your city, man.
We some followers, man.
All right, you might be like, fuck this city too.
We are just some followers, like you said. Chicago came up here, and next, we pretty much just start acting like them. And everything we do, everything is happening is because we follow every motherfucking thing, just like everybody else in the world. You know what I'm saying? In other cities, but yeah, motherfuckers is followers. That's what the issue is, followers.
But most cities have something. They have something that they say this is our thing. Like I said, there's some unique things in our language and whatnot, like some of the things, some of the mannerisms we know, but we haven't really taken our thing, right, and just said this is us. Like, yeah, cities where they got a local rap scene where cats get rich off just selling records in the city. Not here.
Mm-hmm.
Your ass will sell 25 albums and everybody be at your show or you shooting a video. There's 3,000 people there. None of them motherfuckers buying your album.
No.
You be in debt trying to pay for your video on your credit card. Like, man, dog, I gotta take the camera back. But so what else happened, man? What else is going on in the news? R. Kelly got 30 years for racketeering and sex trafficking, and he still has to go to court in Illinois, right? Like, so 30 years. I'm just going. I think 30 years. Y'all correct me, right? Because I don't want to be like insensitive to somebody who's been a victim of this kind of perversion. 30 years? Like, Jillian Maxwell got 20. Now, of course, she didn't have racketeering, right? Which is the fact that Jillian Maxwell was
she's the middleman.
Well, but she was working with the top tier creme de la creme of this, right? R. Kelly was, and moving across state lines with him and all this, and they added all these kind of charges that's gonna bulk it up. But 30 years, right? Like, okay, I get it. People saying, Kev, he was having sex with 15-year-olds. I get it, but when I hear 30, I'm just like, damn, bro, you probably gonna die in the penitentiary.
What was the exact charge though? 30 years for?
It was sex trafficking and racketeering. So I don't know where the racketeering part comes from. I think it's due to how he moved his how he moved his people, his women across the states, and or something like that. I don't know. You know, some of this stuff will get. I don't know. Kamar, you help me out with this because sometimes when you have this many charges, they just say it'll run concurrent. I believe let it run so you serving.
Well,
You do that,
what is saying here is he got 30 years.
right? Okay.
That's the sentence. You know what I'm saying? That right there is the sentence for that. Now, like you
Right.
say, if he got to go to Illinois, now that's going to be a whole nother thing. You know what I'm saying?
So he can't serve them both if they get a because I thought when they say you serve them concurrent.
Well, in one state, if all your crimes is in one state, but if you owe another state some time, you got to go and do that time in another state. They would transfer when your release come in one prison, they would take you from that prison to the next one, where you finna go do your time.
Damn, he gonna commit suicide in this motherfucker.
He should, you know. I don't. I was finna say he shouldn't commit suicide. Like that was like the most.
Said he shouldn't do that. He just do his time.
Don't do it.
Whose side is you on, nigga?
Just do your time, Kels. You got it. No,
everybody has the right to redemption, though. If R. Kelly, because I do believe from the way from what it sounds like, the way he was even conducting himself and living his life would dictate that he does do some time. Because, like, bro, over and over again, it's like, come on, dog, for real. Like, dog, and when they talk about this dude used to hang out at a McDonald's where all the teenagers used to go. And first of all, he's R. Kelly, and that means he's a tremendous celebrity. Second of all, this is in Chicago, where it's 3 million black people, and ain't nobody came up to the McDonald's and said, "Hey, man, don't bring your ass back up here, man. What the fuck you doing up here with these young ass girls?" He did this for a long time, and everybody knew it, right? Like, so I'm saying, yes, he deserves some time. What he did with Aaliyah, yes, he deserves some time. But even the girl he peed on in the thing, who he's paying off, and they said since he's been locked up, now she had to file bankruptcy. But 30 years, I feel like if you give him 20, right, and then make him register as a sex offender, maybe give him, and then let him out. If he gets in there and he goes through some therapy, because you're supposed to go to prison in part to rehabilitate yourself, correct? And pay your debt to society. So maybe half of this sentence, I feel like they could have gave him 15, but 30, I feel like was excessive.
I would want 30. I feel like 30.
Okay, you like 30?
Being a woman, I mean, especially I would probably be sitting there. I probably want more or some shit because I'm like, how many of us was it? And I feel like maybe how many years for each one of us? How many women was it? Was it even 30 women? Or was it more?
It was a lot. It was a lot.
Exactly. Even if you do a year per chick.
But see the gig, and then the gig is up too. And Ace, you just kind of stole my shine, because this is what I was going to say. He said half of those women's parents were pushing them on that man for money and singing careers. And I wanted to say a great portion of this is once again, this is the parent who my daughter can sing, and R. Kelly just discovered her. He didn't discover her; he hollered at her. He wasn't out looking for talent. He was looking for girlfriends, right? Like, so he said, yeah, she can sing and dance. Oh, for real? Yeah, we've been trying to, support her for a long time. Well, she can come on the road with me. She come stay with me and I show her, how to do it. Cause I make music all the time. I got studios everywhere I live. For real, brother. Yeah, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take her on the road with me. She can dance and you get some money. Oh, for real? Yeah, here go $10,000-$15,000. All right, little Monisha. Right, like, oh, you let her go. Go ahead, bro.
How that saying go, fool me one time. Like, okay, when she went, I feel like you send her one time, right? She gonna see some shit, whether or not she's involved or not yet. She gonna see some shit. You know what I mean? And I'm sure shit gets discussed somewhere. You know what I mean, between her and the parents.
I think the parents knew. I think the parents knew. I think it was some of that girl. Be nice to that man. Like I just seen mamas do that shit with just niggas with money in the neighborhood. Girl, he said hi. Say hi to that man. You know what I'm saying? So like we got to think about time. I told you like even before a couple of episodes ago. If we go far enough back, so somebody great granddaddy had a 12-year-old girl that they mama probably was like, hey, we got to marry her off to this dude because so it's like a lot of the parents knew, and that my thing would be if he's getting charged. I mean, well, it ain't no if he's getting charged,
Right.
but
Yeah.
a lot of those parents need to be revisited that were grooming their children as a meal ticket.
That's very true. That's very true. Ace said also, Kev, these girls never get held accountable for positions that they put themselves in. How many 15-year-old girls know not to get in the car with a grown-ass man? Well, hold on, though, because you want to say that, but she is 15, right?
Exactly.
And you got money, and you're a celebrity, and you a grown-ass man. So you hold all the cars. She 15. Give her a goddamn Game Boy and a candy cane when you're done and tell her go to her room. Shit, she 15. She you know, what the fuck? She don't want nothing like, I want to see the paperwork. Or nothing. But no, I'm on tour with R. Kelly. I dance at some shows. I be at all the little events. I meet celebrities sometimes. Or so what? R. Kelly come in my room sometimes to do something nasty, something freaky. Hey, you know, and then like you said, some of the mothers was like, girl, shit, you gonna give it up anyways. You gonna get rich, you might as well give it up to him. Like, people are money.
You might get pregnant by him, and we in there.
Man, that's cold. That's a cold game. It's a cold game. Once again, this does not excuse R. Kelly, but none of the wild, nasty shit he did with underage girls. Shame on that brother. First,
he need 30 years, Kevin. You talking about, you know, a chance for redemption and all of this. I mean, he had a chance of redemption when he married motherfucking
first time.
When that tape came out, we all saw it and nothing happened. He could have been like, whoo.
Yeah, that was his time for redemption right there.
You know, you could have changed everything right then, because look, we'd all seen it, and you know,
My question is though, like, because my biggest issue with this whole R. Kelly shit is that everybody knew and nobody gave a fuck until social media told them to be mad. So my thing is, didn't nobody shit, we seen Aaliyah, people seen the tape, people knew what was going on. We seen R. Kelly on the BET Gospel Awards, crying, singing, "Pray for Me." You know, we seen all this shit, but now it's like, was he still messing with children in current years, or did they wait till he have a stable of grown kept bitches to say, hey, you need to go down for some shit you did years ago?
So some of the testimonies that I heard from some of the women say, like, they may be 19 or 20 now, but they say he brought me aboard when I was 16, or he started grooming me when I was 15. And then it gradually moved into him becoming physical before I was 18. No, it doesn't mean, you know, I can't say honestly to a 15-year-old girl, you put yourself in a bad position and it's all your fault.
At some point, you see something.
Yeah. So,
like I said, if he wasn't messing with her yet, you know what I mean? If everybody else knew, at some point she was gonna see something and say, hold on, this might not be for me.
And he had a wife.
But the thing is, a lot of them was cool with it, and their parents was cool with it. It's just now that he's going down, everybody is me tooing him. But at the time, they was okay being seen with R. Kelly. The mama was okay with their child being seen with R. Kelly. Everybody was okay with them reaping the benefits. But like I said, now that Netflix demands are out, like, it was crazy as hell, man. As soon as Netflix caused motherfuckers to be mad, motherfuckers is walking around radio stations or whatever they was boycotting around, telling them to cancel R. Kelly. And it's like, man, y'all forget this shit? We seen what happened 20 years ago. Why y'all outraged now?
You're right.
So check this out, though. Now, keep in mind, R. Kelly he had already beaten. So this is why what Courtney said made sense to me. It just dawned on me. You're right. So maybe this 30 is be fitting for him, because he went through a whole trial about the whole videotape thing. And instead of after that, man, I'm gonna keep a cool booty. No, I'm gonna get a house full of hoes and put them in the city. Like, bruh. Right.
Went hard.
So I mean, come on. Like, I don't. We don't talk about his music in a second, because Sonya Thrower said I still like his music. Ace Cooley said Rail ain't give a fuck until the big nose Me Too bitch creates to survive our lifetime. women were getting paid until he went broke.
I was thinking, I was like, you know, each one of them got paid to come on there and say something for sure. Like, hey, look, you know, they recorded it, everybody got paid. Now we all upset. But it's just like with the youth. We see all this shit, and it's all designed to make us feel the way and do shit.
It's exactly like that's why it fucks me up about like I love humanity. I love my people, but they get on my fucking nerves because we so like the average motherfucker their life is so lackluster that they desire stimulation, and the only thing motherfuckers getting stimulated now is through sex or outrage. So every week we outraged by some new shit. Just yesterday, my timeline was full of some McDonald's shit that
We going there. We going there. I'm sorry.
Right.
You already know we going there.
But motherfuckers love to be outraged because ain't nothing else going on in their life. Like they ain't got no more stimulation in their life. They go to work, the club, the bar. All their stimulation is drama and fucking. So they itching for the next outrage.
So okay,
I wonder what white folks' timeline look like. You know, while we up here talking about McDonald's and baby mamas, I'll be wondering what the fuck be on the white folks'
yeah, they be having
that
shit too.
Look like?
Yeah. They be arguing about politics. You hear the latest rumor about Senator Johnson? We don't be knowing, like we nobody care about that shit, right? Look, I just want to say this before we move on, because Real just let me know you hit the timer. R. Kelly,
okay.
The whole R. Kelly thing with his music. I'm gonna still listen to some R. Kelly music. I'm sorry, because R. Kelly, music wise, you cannot take anything away from him. You say, okay, if he was singing to a little boy, girl. Well, I don't know if Luther was singing to boys, but I know, or if he was singing to another man, but I know Luther left some beautiful music. So I'm not. I separate the music from who he actually was, because more often than not, when you meet a celebrity that you're a fan of, they are screwed up like that. They all fucked up like that, right? Like, so you be like, damn, man, look, Johnny Cash, he was all over the fucking place. Like, you talking about white people.
You know what's crazy? The thing is, again, that goes to that outrage. People be so quick to be absolute about some shit that they don't do the research. Like, people like, man, if you still listen to R. Kelly, fucking unfriend me right now. And it's like, okay, so,
right.
So do I stop listening to R. Kelly and the shit he wrote? Because if you look at some of your favorite, top hits that ain't R. Kelly hits, if you look in the fucking credits, it's the Pied Piper of fucking R&B.
He wrote that shit.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how far do we go? I mean, I was just bumping Showdown the other day. Shit, I don't give a fuck. But, you know, how far do we go when we try to cancel shit? Do we cancel the person and any derivative of it? Because, I mean, like niggas still holding the Bible, and King James was a crazy-ass pedophile. So, I mean, how we pick and choose what we cancel?
The goddamn founding fathers who had slaves and wrote a constitution that said no man should be a slave. You cancel that motherfucking ass, then I stopped listening to R. Kelly, right? Like, so... D.L. Hewley, when they asked him, they said, will you stop listening to R. Kelly's music now that you know what he's done? He said, no, it's just like I'm not going to stop listening to the national anthem when I know what the United States has done to black people.
Right.
So it's going to go either way. Chat room on deck. Scott Epicet said recession on the way. He said it's all politics. Sonia said pray for him. That's the best thing for him. Pray for that boy. But you're right, Ace. Black people will step in the name of love. They be like, fuck them kids. That shit come out. Old black people get up like, now I know. That's a black. That is a black staple right there. I don't know what it is about that song. So I don't care. He could have blew up a whole building like they tried to do in DC. And Del Rio called it a minor dust up. But no, so let's talk about McDonald's, right? R. Kelly's gone. He's a done data, right? Like, you know, they should allow him to make music from jail, though. I believe, like, he should still be able to make music and release it from jail. Because if you're gonna make him work, hold on, I'm gonna give you my reason. If you're gonna make him work, right, you're gonna let him work. You're gonna say go in a factory and make some kind of microchip and pay him 25 cents an hour and then charge thousands of dollars for the chip. Why wouldn't you just let him go in there and make his music, because it's gonna sell, and then just tax him? Like, okay, we gonna take most of the money, but you still get to do music. Like, I don't know,
Right.
man. You got some raw musicians in jail. It probably be some of the best music we've ever heard.
So much
It
talent,
definitely
so
is.
much talent,
Mm-hmm.
man.
Yeah, man.
Painters, artists, tattoo artists, man. We some brilliant ass people, man. And that, yeah, it's wild.
Well, yeah, I want to talk about the McDonald's, man, and this is just welcome to the podverse. I keep saying I live in the podverse all the time. I step in and out of it because sometimes I'm YouTubing and Facebooking and Twittering and all this. My computer is puting, as Cameron said. I'm on pure puke mode, right? And so I'm paying attention to bullshit in the media. And I happen across footage, which is now in the People's News Network, about this young lady who is going live with her phone saying, I'm about to teach this motherfucker a lesson because he ain't shit. Every other day, he comes over here and brings McDonald's for his son, but he don't bring nothing for my other 3 kids. I'm finna put his ass on blast today. He
That
ain't.
sounds so pathetic.
Right.
This is some of the saddest shit I've ever seen.
Sounds sad as
in
hell.
my
Hey, can I say something?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
What's happening, fam?
She should have been putting her other baby daddies on blast.
Right.
I mean,
Okay.
she can't.
Because they ain't around. They ain't doing shit.
She can't. They ain't.
That's who
around.
need to be on blast. He taking his kids' food, his child food. Ain't nothing wrong with that. The other kids shouldn't be hungry. Shit, what the fuck is she doing? That's her fault. The other kids'
That's
fault.
what I
her
was
fault, but the other kids' father's fault.
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering.
She need to be putting them niggas on blast.
And she got some goddamn food stamps, Kev. That means she ain't cooking no goddamn dinner.
No,
Why
she
you ain't
said
cooking?
they ain't come yet. She said they ain't coming to the 7th or some shit like that.
Well,
You
that
used all the
ain't his
motherfucking
problem.
stamps?
She probably sold them. You know what I'm
4
saying?
kids?
I think if he got it like that, I mean, he's a stand-up brother for doing it. You know what I'm saying? But maybe he ain't got it like that, and he just want to make sure his child know he's in his child's life.
What if that was his last $2, Kev? You know, motherfuckers over here talking that shit. What if it was his last 2? Trying to make his son
I'm
happy.
sure,
He
hey,
gonna throw that shit on the
I'm
ground.
sure he's on child support. If
Right.
she
Absolutely.
gonna do
The way
something
she
like that, I'm
talking?
sure she got him on child support. So
The
he
way
already
she
giving her
talking.
money.
Unfortunately, this is something that while we making fun of it and we laughing,
I'm not making fun
there are
of it. I'm
actually
dead
there,
serious. Shit.
there are actually
You
a
need to
lot of
blast them
brothers.
other baby daddies.
There's a lot of brothers who are going through this, and they go through this on the routine with the mother of their child. And when you have understanding this dynamic of you have a child with a woman who has other children, right? So now, if here's the deal, if I'm living in that house, right? If I live with her and she got, 3 kids, 4 kids, and one of mine and the other 3 somebody else's, but I live there, I would not just bring home my son McDonald's if I lived there. I would say, well, I got to bring all of them some home, But if I don't live with her and we're not in I don't live there and I ain't got nothing to do with you.
Right.
I bring my son McDonald's every other day. This is what kind of daddy I am. I make sure mine's eat. I come through there and bring. And your thing is, well, what about his siblings? The fact that she said, my food stamps don't come. I mean, he was if what the fuck that was a person.
And if she getting food stamps, he's probably on child support.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I mean, I just don't. It's sad that this is a real scenario for people. Go ahead, Rail.
Yeah, it did. Oh no, I was gonna say. Well, the thing is, you can get food stamps with so child support don't come into play unless they're getting child care. That's when child support. So they can get food stamps without child support, but just based off of the bum ass shit she was saying, like to me, while she was trying to expose him, she was exposing herself as just a bum ass chick. Like my thing is, you at home while somebody bringing some shit for his child, but you saying your other kid's hungry. If my other kid's hungry, I might have to leave somebody at the house with my kids while I go make something happen. But that's just how I was raised, But
If
the
my
fact
daughter,
that she waiting
if my
for
daughter hungry, I ain't obligated for the other.
You said if your Oh,
said,
yeah,
if my
no,
daughter's
for
hungry,
sure.
I'm obligated for her, but I ain't obligated for the other ones.
And so now the kind of dude I would feed. I'm not gonna have nobody eating in front of other people that's starving. If I got it, and usually I got it, but that her entitlement is what fucked me up. Like her entitlement and her expectation. No, nigga, you need to help me solve my problem of my hungry ass kids, or I'm gonna let your kids starve too. Like she should have been like, hey, you know what? I appreciate you. Here, I'm gonna let him come out to eat. That's one less child I gotta figure out something for. Matter of fact, why can you come? You let him eat in the car, then y'all come sit in the house while I bust out and try to bust a move real quick. But she just had that bum ass mentality from them few words I heard.
Well, once again, here we go. Where when that boy is in there who's used to know, and they are obviously, if they all sitting there hungry, and that kid is sitting there saying, well, today is Thursday, and no, Pop, please don't bring me some McDonald's today. And this day he's waiting, and you done threw the goddamn food down in the street, and heaven, God forbid, he's somewhere looking out the window like, no. So now, then what you gonna say to him when you go back in the house?
It was supposed to be funny, but
no, it is, but it ain't, right? Because I'm pretty sure he was in the window like, Mom, what the fuck? He probably little like, you bitch.
Right.
I'm saying, what does she say to him when you come back in the house and he say, was that my daddy?
That was your bitch ass daddy. Gonna bring you just some motherfucking McDonald's
Right.
brothers. Hell no, you ain't getting
Hey,
sit your ass down.
Now me, I'd have thought it out.
Be.
Me myself, I'd have thought it out. You know what I mean? Like if I didn't have it to where I could have brought something for all of them, I'd have went and picked my child up and we'd have left.
Why do I got the kid that called you? Because I know one day I had a chick on my lift and she called her baby daddy and was like, whatever the baby name is, she called you today. She wanted you to DoorDash or some McDonald's to come drop it off. So she called you earlier. Plenty of kids just be calling their daddies on their own. So,
but okay, so
mine call me. I encourage you. Call me if something wrong. You know what I'm saying?
So you don't even know another kid. Your baby didn't call. They want some McDonald's. Like, all right, I'll be over there in a minute.
The reasoning behind why this dude is doing this, to me, it kind of, he knows something's amiss, right? Like when I be talking to my son, he be saying like, Dad, I don't eat, sometimes. So I just make it a thing to go over there and drop him off something to eat. Now, once again, Kevin loved the kids, right? And I would never do anything intentionally to hurt a child. But I'm like, right. So I don't want to look at them other kids because it ain't their fault that they mama's just like on full chicken head status, right? But for this little boy whose father is trying to be there for him is who I'm concerned about, because you tearing apart a relationship between him and his son, right? Like, and you call yourself standing on some kind of morals or principles when your thing really is that sense of entitlement that Rail is talking about. Like, look, no, I got 4 kids. You got 4 kids. I got 1.
Right.
And that's my only responsibility, right? Like, so I don't, it ain't like I'm saying fuck them kids, but come on, man. I ain't got all that to spend today. I'm just gonna grab little dog some nuggets. I'm pretty sure he has to share the shit anyways if he eats it in the house, because this is his brothers and sisters. Right. So they standing around. So that shit actually probably help everybody. You look up and the 3-year-old with a nugget that you ain't. This shit pisses me off in so many different levels, because there are people who like, and there was a lot of women who, in the interest of just, I guess, fighting to say I'm a woman, like I gotta stand with all women, was justifying this shit. Like if women was coming out saying, "Oh, my baby daddies know if he brought something for one, everybody had to eat." That's some trifling ass shit. Then you just like her.
It'd be projection.
Everybody got to start. One can't eat, but everybody got to start.
Come on, man. And the fact that who really spends all of their food stamps? You sold your food stamps, right? Because you get enough food stamps to go stock up for the month. If you got 4 kids, you get enough stamps. You probably get about $500-$600 in stamps. Real, you can correct me on the amount of the benefits.
Man, I'm talking
how much they get, Real?
I'm saying, look, I talked to
somebody the other day. I talked to somebody the other day getting $1,200, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Like, and on top of On top of the
They get
$1,200
money.
for food stamps, they also, like I said, they were not touched in the head, but they were getting Social Security. So
SSI.
when you on Social Security and you got kids, you also can get that caretaker supplement. That's another $250 type shit. So you're getting your Social Security, your caretaker supplement, your food stamps, probably renting. Like, man, some of these people, this is their employment. Like, this is their shit. They ain't got to do shit because they on rent assistance, $1,200 food stamp, Social Security, caretaker supplement. So all they got is time to sit around and think about who done pissed them off today type shit.
But
Go
I'm
ahead,
saying
Courtney.
it's easy to spend in a month, Kev. I have 3 children and myself, and I get like 7 some,
Okay.
and nigga, that's 7 some. That should be gone. And I don't buy
And-
bullshit. I don't be
Okay.
out here just buying a whole
See,
bunch of
some
snacks
people,
and
a
that's
lot
where
of
you go.
people I know that be getting bread and then and still be hungry by the end of the month. They do be buying Hot Pockets, microwave, frozen pizzas, the shit that, like, hey man, sometimes you just gotta grab a bag of motherfucking flour and beans and make it do what it do.
Yeah.
Make some bread from scratch. Make
Right.
some biscuits. Get a bag of rice. You ain't gotta get that fucking instant shit. You ain't gotta get little breakfast sandwiches. Fucking get some eggs and some biscuit. Like, people,
Yeah.
man. Before I ain't never had food stamps, but before I was a motherfucker that sold food stamps, I'll be a motherfucker that make meals off my food stamps and flip them meals. I ain't taking no loss.
Yeah.
Right.
See, I was just gonna say
shit,
that
I'll be barbecuing and catering.
So mine is different. My bad.
No,
I be
Courtney,
making juices and shit. So my bad. Yeah, I'm different.
No, Courtney, I didn't. When you said that, I got 3 kids, and it's that $700 don't. And I don't want to diminish no sister that's struggling right now, and really, and it's on you too. Like, if you have a baby, here's the kind of the gray area. If you have a baby by a girl and she's struggling, right, or I should say a woman, don't have it by a girl. You end up with R. Kelly. But you have you have a baby, y'all break up, you get you a little job, you doing your thing. She's struggling. She got 3 more kids, right? You know for a fact that them kids is suffering, right? So sometimes as a man, you really do have to say, you know what? Instead of going to McDonald's every other day for them, $8-9 here, $8-9 there, I'm just gonna go to Aldi's or go to Save-A-Lot and buy some food. And like when he called me and say, "Dad, I'm hungry," I put him a little bag together. Put some noodles in there, some Viennese sausages. Some Viennese sausages, some hog head cheese, some crackers, some chips, microwave popcorn. You make him a little bag, take it through there and give it to him. Now he's gonna eat, right? In canned goods and everything. His little brothers and sisters gonna eat too, though. So now we don't even have an issue. That from this type of female, the next complaint would be, "Don't be bringing all that cheap ass food over here. My kids don't eat that shit." Then I will say, well, now I'm just gonna bring him some McDonald's. And I don't know if that's what happened, but I think for that brother, if he did that, that would probably be a smarter way to go about it. So, Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, and we formulating our opinion and perception off of this little ass video. Like, we do not know the backstory.
Right.
These kids could have told him before, "You ain't my daddy. You damn right I ain't your daddy, and he ain't around to feed you." You know, we don't know nothing. We don't know none of this shit. We don't know if he was feeding them kids all the time and see how irresponsible she is and how he was enabling her to just be a dumb motherfucker. We don't know none of that shit.
Right. Hey, look, he probably used to go over there when he get his child together, he get them together. Hey, look, man, you need to go over here and wash these dishes. You need to do this and that. Don't be talking to my kids. Don't tell my kids what to do. And then, you ain't my daddy. You ain't my daddy. You know what I'm saying? And that type of shit, motherfucker be like, well, fuck them kids then. I'll just do for mine.
I heard the video fake though.
I don't know. Y'all,
we don't know the situation.
Right. I heard it was fake.
Y'all keep this conversation going. Let me give me a second right quick.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's real. I don't know if it's fake, but yeah, they said it was a hoax. Something,
I just think bottom line is he ain't out of order for taking his child something to eat.
Nah, but the craziest part is the how many women was mad as fuck on Facebook about a situation that wasn't theirs. But that's why I tell people, fucking heal that trauma in you. Go ahead and heal so you stop being triggered by other people bullshit and be projecting, oh, if that was me, I don't even fuck with no nigga that ain't willing to feed my kids. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I seen one of my friends post, learning how to make better life decisions will keep you out of discussions of should another nigga feed all your kids. You know, it's just we got to get better and heal ourselves so we don't take on everybody else's situation and get like motherfuckers writing whole dissertations and theses about how, you know, growing up, all I had was men in my life and no kid was starved. It's like shit. Nowadays, you tell a kid, hey, could you not step on my lawn? Fuck you, nigga. I'll come here and air this shit out. It's like, okay. Well, nigga, don't ever look at me if you hungry. Like, so it's a new day, man.
And so many women have this issue, like you said, so many women have this issue of getting emotional over issues that aren't theirs. I seen this dude make a status the other day that said a lot of women will remain single mothers because they're mentally unstable. There's so many women got upset, and it's like, fam, but if you're not mentally unstable, you know what I'm saying? If you're not this person he's talking about, what the fuck y'all so mad for? Because there are plenty mentally unstable women that will remain single mothers because they fucked up. Yeah. So why are y'all so upset about someone speaking the truth? If it's not you, why is it all this emotion and anger and shit? And I don't know.
Let it fly.
That's how it should go. But motherfuckers are still mad at Kevin Samuels 4 months after his death. You know, there's still motherfuckers. Yeah. I hope he dead and it's great. Like, it's like, stop projecting. Go ahead and heal, baby. Go ahead and heal, brother. So y'all can stop getting ass hurt about situations that ain't even y'all's.
The worst part was her presentation, the way she was like, I'm finna put this motherfucker on blast, like I'm about to show y'all. And when you hear what she's about to do, you say, what? you about to put him on blast for bringing his son? What level of foolery is this? Like what the third and center?
You know, her mindset's so fucked up that she don't even understand where the problem is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like most,
she don't even understand where the problem is. Like I said, she need to be putting her other kids' fathers on blast.
Yeah, it's got to be some understanding of somewhere got to get, especially if you're gonna take my shit and just throw it down in the street like that. That's just disrespectful, right? Like I can't even have that. Ace Cooley said that's that toxic, privileged ass woman personality. Some of these heifers think the world will revolve around them. Take your ass to work, Trick.
I blame Disney.
MC
I blame Disney, man.
He said, tell her she better call MC Tone and put in some work. MC Tone go put her on the street. Oh, baby, don't worry about it.
Definitely hire.
McDonald's. I'm just gonna babysit when you get that money.
MC Tone is definitely hiring.
Have your ass shampooing the shit out of some carpet. Ace Cooley said, yeah, they be on that shit, but still rocking designer clothes and shoes. Joshua Anderson said if she cooked, then this wouldn't be a topic. Yeah, it's so many layers, and that's why I think people reacted. And listen, you are absolutely right that, and y'all can all attest to this. And Courtney, you just said the same thing. Some posts go up and women go ham, right? They go in, they be emotional in their responses. They'll cut you out, motherfucker. Fuck you.
They gonna type it too.
You done shared your page and shit. This motherfucker right here said, and you like,
right.
Yeah. Hey, motherfucker told me I need to be ashamed of myself because I shared that Kia Boy video documentary.
They was mad at
you. You need to be ashamed of yourself.
Like what?
No, I don't need to be ashamed of myself. I'm very confident in my intent.
How was it your? Okay, I guess they were saying for you sharing this bullshit. Like you should be ashamed of yourself.
I was sharing it because I'm promoting the Kia Boys.
Oh, okay. Oh,
you know, like how motherfuckers sharing black people fighting each other and shit.
Kamar, I don't know if you remember this. I don't know if you recall this, but a long time ago, when we used to do the show, I just would try to just say something just to have people react in the People's News Network. And so I put up a post, right? And Kamar, this is gonna make you laugh because I know you forgot about it. I put up a post that said, "What's my man name on Love and Hip Hop? Papoose. I said Papoose is a cornball, a pussy whipped cornball. And he's corny as fuck, right? And I just put that on Facebook, and women was snapping to the
Oh
point
yeah, I
where
remember that. They went
we,
ballistic.
we tried to do a show, and the women hijacked the whole show and just called in the whole time, and just everything we said, they was like, "That's corny. He ain't corny because he loved his wife." And da. I'm like, it was just a fucking Facebook post, right? It wasn't.
That
You know,
projection.
I did feel
That
like the way they
projection,
presented
man.
him on there was cornball, but I mean, they was just like people, like you ain't got. Who cares? You don't even know him. You don't own their album he's ever made, nor Remy Ma. But you on
Right.
Facebook all day with your thumbs working like that is my nigga. Like, come on, man. Yeah, people get, and so that little whole video set off a wave today. Motherfuckers was going live from their job, and I couldn't imagine being at work like, see, I'm gonna have to say something about this now. I'm gonna,
You know that's
Hey,
exactly how they
so
feel.
was the
Man,
one
I was
about the
dying
man
on
with
that
the
shit.
tutu.
let me punch out and go to my car. I'll be right back. Goddamn it, motherfuckers said, look, all I'm gonna say about this is this: like nobody ain't asked you, motherfucker. Why are you, and why are you this worked up about this shit, right? Like it's just like, but it is
Projection.
it's a reflection because, like I said, I think there's a basis for this because I've seen some brothers trying to do for their children, and the mothers just acting a donkey. Like I'm talking about like throwing new shit out the window, like new clothes, like. And I'm like, man, why? Like, and some of those women, man, I guess that's why you got to be careful, with who you have a baby with. And I guess that brother probably upset, like, man, they ain't gonna make abortion illegal. This is why you should have this shit. You end up with a bra like this. But that kid might grow up to be somebody important, man. You know, I don't know. We have to see more of this. I suggest social services get in touch with her quick.
You
Nigga,
remember
you
that one
picked her.
video of that mom that cut her baby hair
Nigga, you
because the
picked
dad
her.
took her to get her hair done by another chick? She cut the
Yeah.
baby hair off and shit. Like a lot of the issues be motherfucking
Oh,
women.
damn.
Like women be motherfucking mentally unstable.
I mean,
like folks, you cut
people-
her hair.
People have issues, and instead of getting help, they project that shit and react like. And that's what I was saying the other day. Like, unfortunately, we are some of the most passionate yet emotionally reactive people in the world. So a lot of times, other people have learned how to use our outrage for their benefit and harness our outrage. Like, you know, and I'm not saying people wrong for feeling the way they feel, but sometimes you got to realize when you being played. Like, I remember a couple years ago when they was burning shit down, and I'm like, damn, do they know that they just giving free demo to these businesses, and now these businesses are about to cash in their insurance policies and come back bigger, stronger, or they about to rebuild that whole block into some kind of subsidized housing for a few years before they turn it into expensive ass lofts. Like, people know to trigger us, tell us where to go and take our outrage out, and they reap the benefit of the shit. So we gotta. That's why I write these books, man, about emotional intelligence and critical thinking, because there's a lot of conversations we need to have, but we get too ass hurt about it. I posted a status the other day about my experience with child support. You know what I'm saying? And how that shit had me a slave for a while. You know, even though, like you were saying, be careful with who you lay with. I was married. I made it a point not to have any kids until I got married. And it still ain't saved me from the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? At a time, I was told I couldn't even renew my fucking fishing license or sell my car because I owed child support for the same children I got joint custodial placement for and have 50% of the time. So we need to have these discussions, but we got to have the emotional intelligence and maturity to have them so we could really get some shit resolved.
And you know what? I'm glad you said that, Real. I'm glad you said that because the child support thing and that's crazy. But I wanted to say I've never had to deal with this, right? So I have brothers, I have a brother, and I have a lot of my partners who have. I've never had to deal with this at all because first of all, I was like you, I was married when my children were born, but even if I wasn't around, I don't think my wife would have a problem taking care of my kids. Like, and whatever I didn't do, it wouldn't cause them to lack. She'd just be like, shame on you for being a bum, right? Like, we don't need you and shit. We got McDonald's, motherfucker, but we don't.
Right.
So that was a very important part of me saying I could have a child with this woman because she could take care of herself and your children and what happened to you. Not that people get a chance to think that far ahead of the game. I'm just saying I'm blessed in that regard. So I don't,
Right.
and I don't want this to reflect.
Well, you know, the problem
is to make people think that this is how black
on,
women are, because there are a lot of black women who ain't even on this at all.
on the
Right?
flip side, so you know, on the flip side of that, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, we know now, you know what I mean, and sometimes you learn early, you know what I mean, you look for emotionally stable people and you understand.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know them when you see them. But our problem is we looking for the wrong shit in each other. We ain't looking for that. That don't matter until it's too late. You know what I mean? We looking for a fat ass, you know what I'm saying? A lot of money. You know what I mean? We looking for all the physical shit. We ain't looking for what's on the inside. We ain't looking for what a motherfucker made of. You know what I'm saying? So we wind up in relationships and with baby mamas and baby daddies that's just jacked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it doesn't help that, I mean, the reality is it takes 6 months to 3 years for infatuation to wear off. So a lot of times we done had a whole engagement and a child before them rose-colored glasses fall off, and we see, like, you see all the shit, but you be so in love and elated by this motherfucker that you like, oh no, you know, that's just them, you know, that's how they was raised. But you know, by the time you realize this ain't even a motherfucker I would associate with as a friend, by the time you realize that, y'all done probably got engaged and had a kid. Because like I said, it takes 6 months to 3 years for infatuation to wear off. And a lot of people are involved with motherfuckers they infatuated with because that love ain't kick in yet, because it's when the infatuation wear off that now you understand if y'all love each other.
Shout out to Ace. He said these women act like that because dude done moved on and he's happy. They want him to be miserable and the children are nothing but pawns. You know what? Unfortunately, all of this shit applies. All of this applies, right? And we have so many different experiences. And so that's why I felt like we should address it, like, because it ain't really worth the tea in China, the price of tea in China in terms of how it's going to affect my life, right? Like, this don't fuck up a Wednesday for me. It's still Outlaw Radio. It's still big Milwaukee, right? We still big Milwaukee up here. Of course, I threw it up again. See, I almost threw up a gang sign when I said it.
You know, that's my favorite song. Okay, I'm gonna keep my hands
big
down.
Milwaukee. This big Milwaukee player. So, you know, that's how we talk about Milwaukee. Yeah, what's happening, player? Where you from? Kind of country, kind of city.
We are country a little bit.
Yeah, you know, Milwaukee. We most of us here descendants of some Southerners, right? And so we just we got some country. You heard me a few minutes ago say hog head cheese with my country city raised ass, right? Like, I'm still.
Man, that sounds so fucking delicious.
Man,
I miss it. But
yesterday, what's wrong with you? Eating that shit.
It ain't worth my health, man. But I miss it.
I don't miss hog head. I ate that shit, but I don't miss that shit.
You know, to each his own, right?
That shit gritty, gelatin ass shit.
You still eating hard head cheese?
I couldn't dream of eating that shit right now, man.
No, got some right now.
Hell no.
If it's hot, Glorious Malone with some crackers, I will
that's why I don't do it to eat it.
I'm not here to put on for nobody.
You ain't wrong. You are not wrong, man.
I was mad about the goddamn ice cream. Why can't we have some goddamn Juneteenth Day ice cream?
Man, fuck that ice cream.
We should have had some Juneteenth ice cream, man.
Food now. Food ain't done nothing to nobody, right? What you fucking with the food for, man? You leave that shit alone. But no, I will. Hell yeah, listen, my parents was hardcore Mississippi. Like, they didn't come from a small town, like a town or a city. They came from the hills of Mississippi, like real for real, get it out the mud, the dirt, like in the country. So we ate. My father butchered every piece of the hog. He would literally bring half a hog to the house and butcher it in the basement. Guys, he bought that much meat? No, he brought half of a pig to the house and he butchered the meat in the basement. So, you know, I grew up on that shit. Yes, I don't eat all that shit now because I don't, do like pork roast or pork steaks or nothing like that. But some hog head cheese, I get busy. My wife don't. She's like, don't you ain't supposed to be eating that. I'm like, I know, but I ain't gonna eat that much. Just this piece, right?
Just a little bit.
Right.
It's taxing too. That shit ain't cheap. While people talking crazy, that shit is not.
Man,
I don't know why I
they
can't.
whacking over
Paying
the
a
head.
lot for some bullshit.
Rob just finna say, what the fuck?
Hey, man, listen, I don't critique nobody else shit they eat, and they shouldn't critique mine. Like some shit they be eating, I be like, ugh, how you eat that bullshit? And then they see me.
Hey, we ain't got to sit here and listen to you talk about how you like it without us saying we don't like it. Ain't that the problem we got with the alphabet community?
I just feel a lot of heat coming
Ain't
from
that
that
the problem we got
crowd.
with the alphabet community though?
Right. Hold on. I feel a lot of heat coming from that end of the couch because you
It's
in the
just some
background
bullshit,
way
yeah. That's all we
disrespectful.
saying. That's some
Like,
bullshit.
every time I say, yeah, I like he got to say something. Yeah, that bullshit. Fuck that shit. Like, you ain't got to be so aggressive. Like, shit. Milwaukee shit though. Milwaukee people cuss you out about your own shit. Fuck your little ass car. Why I got to be my little ass car? Your little regular ass house. I owe that. You know that's the thing we do here. We say, motherfucker gonna get mad because I owe him a little funky ass $200. Oh, now it's a little funky ass $200.
Hell yeah, it is.
All right, it wasn't no little ass funky 200 when you like, come on, man, they gonna cut my light.
You know I ain't having when you gave it to me. Clearly, I'm broke.
Oh wow, right. That's the Milwaukee. Don't fight me. Fuck dude, I ain't fucking with dude. Why? Man, could dude be sweating me about the little funky ass $200? You mad at another man for some money?
Exactly, Kev.
Happens all the time, man. Happens all the time.
And black people everywhere saying that shit happens everywhere. But in Milwaukee, it's just a whole kind of attitude. Like Milwaukee dudes got to let you know when they don't like something. It ain't enough for them to say it like they be in the background like, I don't fuck with that. They got to make sure they get up to you close. Say, hey man, I don't like your motherfucking shoes. Like, okay, nigga, I didn't ask you, did you want to wear them next weekend? Like, that's that Milwaukee shit. Kamar, you got to back up off the hoghead cheese though, bro. I can't do no unsolicited banging on the hoghead cheese. I feel like you're going too hard. I can't see the chat room. So if anybody can see the chat room, let me know what they're saying. I can't. It's not showing.
I don't see it no more either. I just see the names.
My computer ain't puting right now. I don't know what's going on. Now, we didn't talk about this last week because we had like a serious thing going, and then we got crazy last week when we was on the show. But just horrible ass verses. Did y'all see this horrible ass verses that they had with the R&B dude? I know it's old, but it was like, oh my god. The verses thing, it's gonna be gone in a minute, right? Like, cause y'all just doing too much, right?
Yeah.
Like now you starting to have motherfuckers who should not. First of all, why was these two dudes having a verses? I thought this was supposed to be about like classic artists, like who made big impact.
They are classic in our era. Don't be acting like that. I got Mario on my playlist. I got some motherfucking on Mario. Oh, he had them hits when we was in high school. I had an icebox where my heart used to be. What the fuck you mean? That B2K bump, bump, bump. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of chest moving when they was dancing back then.
Hey, look,
you know,
R. Kelly wrote that song. R. Kelly wrote that baby turn around, that bump, bump, bump shit. Yeah.
See? So just because you don't know about
stop
this shit
listening
with
to that
boy
song?
bands.
Hold on, wait a minute though. Okay, so wait.
Don't be hating there because you don't know about this era.
Well, you telling me Omarion, or well, you see, even said Mario. First of all, how many albums did Mario make?
I don't know. He's still making music. He got a new song out recently with Chris Brown. I got that on my playlist.
Classic. How many classic albums did Mario make?
Don't be acting like that with our era.
Hey, ain't none of them motherfuckers got no classic album.
I was gonna say we ain't got no. Is Eastside Lil Jon and East Side Boys classic for us? For us, that's classic. Webby and motherfucking Boosie classic for us.
Hey, but look, that's why they had to have so many people too.
No, right. You should be a feature at somebody else's verses if you had 3 hits.
That's why they had to have so many people.
They had more than
right. I thought they were supposed to be reserved for artists who had like classic albums and movements. And you say, well, Bone and 666 Mafia. Them is like, we say classic. Them dudes got like 100 million albums sold and #1 records and
Kev, my era didn't have classics. Kev, we had a whole bunch of. We had Lil Jon and East Side Boys. We had Gucci Mane. We had motherfucking B2K. You see, Pleasure P was there.
Gucci Mane
had from? Pretty Ricky.
Gucci Mane had a dope ass verses.
Look, Gucci Mane was popping. Gucci Mane was
depends
definitely
on how old you
like
are.
we had popping rappers, but as far as like, for us, it was We didn't have classic fucking music.
Nah, I ain't even
Ludacris
watch
and
that shit, man.
Nelly.
Hey, that's when creativity started going out the window.
Yeah, we didn't have classic.
Well, okay, hold on.
It's songs that would a whole bunch of us know. You know what I'm saying? When they play it in the club, we know all the words. It's just Yin Yang Twins. You know,
that's not. But
we had an era.
Once again, there are hits there.
Right, we didn't have no classics.
There's
right,
nobody who in the listen. People say, what you just say the handicap dudes, and I only know
Yin Yang in the thing.
Nobody's riding around right now. You know how we reminisce on our music.
They are. I heard it the other day.
But ain't nobody pulled up next to me playing the Whisper song. I haven't heard that shit since. Wow.
Just like I still be playing So Icy. That's my favorite shit. What you mean?
Man, I got so
some
many
on my thing. I got some Mario. I got some Bobby Valentino. All the people that was at the verses, I got them on my phone on the playlist.
That's just over my head like a bulimic on a seesaw.
So that's why you didn't understand the verses, Kev, because you're not from this area.
And that's
you
why
see how many chicks was there? We know that.
But look, it's no coincidence that it was fucking horrible too, which is why they shouldn't have had the verses. Which just goes to kind of by what I'm saying.
They need an auto tune in their mic. They didn't have it. They need in the mic.
Dudes was, man, listen. And I used to think the little young boy Jeremiah, I was like, he got a kind of little slick, kind of little street type thing going. This brother's drinking Night Train before the show or some shit. Crystal meth, isn't it?
Night Train.
Gave me the mic. Yeah, I'm like, dude. I'm saying, like, okay, you had artists who had hits, right? Like they had hits. There were some like who came out during your era that you just because to me you can't say B2K.
DMX.
B2K is not a classic group. You don't put B2K.
That's the point. We didn't have Dipset, fucking Cameron. During that era, there was no.
Damn, what was T.I. and Ludacris are from that era, right? And let me just say this too about Gucci Mane. I was doing this because it's over my head. I've never listened. I would never listen to a whole entire Gucci Mane album. I would have a headache. It's not even that rap ain't for me. By the time it came along, I was already in my 30s, right? And I was teaching kids who was just kind of trying to follow this shit with big ass t-shirts and shit on. Like, bro, what's the fuck is wrong with you? So
you see, we had dance music in that era. I mean,
was it heel toe?
Snapping and shit.
Yeah.
We was doing other shit. So we didn't have no classes in that era. We was dancing.
That's the Laffy Taffy era.
We was
what's going on with hip hop.
we was going through a phase and shit.
Right. It was horrible. It was one of the most horriblest periods of black music. So
don't be acting like that, kid. We was having fun.
Somebody said Pleasure P was there, but why is Pleasure P? Is that his name?
Pleasure P was good from Pretty Ricky.
They had one song. They had one like
they did not have one song. They had a couple. Hold on, had the best teenage freaky music you would ever know about teenage freak music.
Not a good.
That's why we was having sex like that.
Oh my god, that's why.
Man, Pretty Ricky.
I can imagine that girl who was snapping about that McDonald's was B2K fan. She had to be from y'all era.
She was.
She had to be from y'all era.
B2K fan.
She was.
Right. She was the Gucci Mane. Like, Icy. My partner though, we the same age. He's to dig that. I wasn't. See, I'm old though. I wasn't like necessarily the biggest Jeezy fan. Like I've never understood.
No.
I've never understood a lot of the rappers that I've heard over the last few years. I've been like, that shit's horrible. But then I'm told you just too old. It ain't for you. And I'd be like, that's cool. I accept that. I'm your Huckleberry.
It'd be horrible.
Good music is good music. Because every now and then you hear a youngster do something, you say that's some nice shit. But most of this shit be garbage. And that's
Chris Brown came out then.
Who?
Chris Brown, Justin Bieber. I remember I was like, yeah. See,
was they all there? I didn't watch it. I just seen the horrible snippets. So I didn't even know Chris Brown. Yeah, Chris Brown. Right. Chris Brown is an artist who I would say is on that level. Right? Like he could come out and say, okay, I got about 20, I done sold hundreds of millions of records or 100 million records, whatever. Oh, and I got a catalog of classic hits. So I could do that. But it's like, or Marion, like he was a part of a second-rate group. He wasn't even part of a top group. Nobody. And then it's B2K. Nobody says that ever. Nobody would ever say, "Oh, it was Troop, it was SWV," and you know who was good? B2K. Nobody fucking ever. That's never been
for
said.
B2K, they did have a cult following, but it was girls. It was like excuse me, high school girls, you know. Right. So I mean, I guess they might have got themselves off. I never really listened to them like that. But the way them little girls loved them and had them posters, I'm sure they bought them albums. So they might be up there in their own right. I just am not as knowledgeable on that because I wasn't a fan of them.
And this is what I love.
But them little girls, like, you know, them.
This is what I love the most because I get a new understanding. And you and Courtney are younger than Kamara and myself. We some old fogies, right? We some old farts, and we
having fun with this right now.
I'm
realizing now that like it wasn't no classic music being made around that area.
Well, even if somebody who from that era said, "Nah, none of our shit was," I'm saying that because I'm looking at it now. So if you ask, when we have our hip hop conversations, and I've had DJs and rappers, and I say top 5 dead or alive, nobody has ever said, you know who's cold? Lil Bow Wow. Except for I heard some youngsters online one time like they got to give Bow Wow his respect. I'm like, for what?
Like I was from that era. I'm like, what?
What? Bow Wow or Lil Romeo? Lil Romeo is a class. No, he's not. He's just not his son.
Right, you know what was classic during our era? I was in 8th grade when this came out. The motherfucking Chronic 2 came out. See, but that was more y'all era.
You was in the 8th grade. That wasn't even your era.
And that's why I said that was y'all era that came out during my era. That shit was good.
You right.
That was my music. That was y'all music.
The Chronic was the shit, right? But I'm just tripping, right? Because she said she was in 8th grade.
She talking about
that was the Chronic 2. When he came out with the other
2001 too, not the first Chronic. That
I was like,
shit. I'm old. Right? Ewok, what's good with you, man?
Yeah, I go again. Ready to flow again. You better hope my mic don't flow again. Hey, what up, K-Boy? What's going on, Courtney, with your pretty self? You know what I'm saying? Respect the really real over there looking like the Swami and shit, pimp style. Everybody in the house looking good.
What's happening, man?
Everybody in the house looking good and shit. Hey, y'all talk about the music people though, man. But they gave the boy a 30 piece with no fries and no biscuit today, man. God dang.
Woo. Yeah. They gave your man the heavy. They got a football number. Hey, he got
they got 30 piece with no biscuit, no French fries, no jelly.
Yeah, man. So when you mess with little girls, man, you know, he said, remember what they 15 get you 30. Remember we used to say that, Kamar? I don't know if in the BK era they still said that kind of stuff, but
well, yesterday they only gave the white lady. A dub.
She only got a dub. She
flying and floating around and shit. Got them drinking out coconuts and all of the other shit. It's like R. Kelly was doing.
Yeah,
this actually got access to personal aircraft and shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
It's hypocrisy in our democracy. No, you can't.
Yeah, no doubt, man. She floating and flying on little bitches all over the town, and I called her that. But you know, that's just only to make a point. You know, not because I think of that of women. Courtney,
I understand.
It'd be funny. Right. It'd be funny when dudes come on here and Courtney's on and they say something crazy. They always explain it to her like, "Yeah, these funky ass bitches." Not that I think all women is bitches, Courtney.
We just said what's right here and there on our mind and shit like bingo.
It'd be like when somebody say, "Dog, I don't mean no disrespect," but then they disrespect the shit out of you.
Right.
Like, that's because you said you didn't mean it like that.
You said it before. You see, it's a difference when you say it after or before. You know what I'm saying?
I don't mean to cut you. They say I don't mean to cut you off, but
shit already, man.
A motherfucker say I don't mean to cut you off, but and keep talking. They don't say I ain't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, brother. Like I didn't mean to cut you off, but what I was saying was you'd be like, motherfucker, what you did mean to cut me off?
You did mean to. Yeah.
What are you talking about, right?
You done the shit already, motherfucker.
Yeah, I guess it makes a difference if you apologize first. You say, "I'm sorry," and they say, "For what?" And you be like, punch you in your shit. My bad. I ain't mean to do that. Back to a
little bit of the city crime, though. You know, when I mentioned R. Kelly and shit, I was gonna bring up Aaron Hall. It was like, man, Aaron Hall was the motherfucking man until R. Kelly hit the stage and shit.
Yeah, I don't know if he had the little 12-year-old. R. Kelly was just a real, just kind of grimy dude. Like he had some serious issues, and this dude wasn't very smart. He fucked all his music off.
Aaron Hall was on that same shit. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
And I don't know if you ever seen that Vlad interview.
He was on that same shit.
Have you ever seen that Vlad interview with Aaron Hall where he goes all the way in, like, everybody done seen my dick, I'm about to ass puffing them high, I fuck a bitch. I'm like, dude, you will never do another concert again. Go back and look. It's on YouTube, man. This dude goes completely damn, dog. He goes just talking about, everybody know I got the biggest dick in the industry. Like, he's like, ass puffy ass. He named off all these people.
You can't be doing all that. You doing a little too much.
Right. Yeah. Come on, bro. That's like you get caught. Come on, dog. They got us. No, they got you, man. What you talking about? Come on, they got us. Ewok, man, did you see the McDonald's? Did you see the baby mama in McDonald's, man?
Oh, yeah, man. That's just so hilarious. I don't care if it's a skit or not. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how people fuck with our brains and shit. If you not allow it to be fucked with, you know. So they could have been playing, but it looks more serious than anything, though, because the first thing you think, like, I know a woman like that. I was going to say the word for Courtney on the phone. Hey, I know a woman like that who will do some old stupid ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? But you motherfuckers still talking about Willie Lynch letters, and that shit wasn't real either. So what you say? You got to believe in something. Why not believe in me, right? People like, what? Willie Lynch wasn't real? It's like,
okay. So my opinion, quick in a nutshell. The only thing dude did wrong, my opinion in a nutshell, is the only thing dude did wrong was bringing that boy some stuff, knowing there was some more kids in there, and he was like, yeah, well, he tried to clean it up by saying, well, let them come eat in the car with me. Them other kids ain't mine, but it's too late. You know, you done already brought it. You know, you don't let your kids sit there and drink that big ass soda in front of them other kids, man.
No,
he just came to pick the motherfucker up. He should have came and picked him up and then took him to get something. Now, if them other kids was hungry, she should have called their other baby daddy. Goddamn.
Ewok.
Hey, Ewok, I think that's what she should have put on blast was the other baby daddies.
Right.
No doubt. Real talk.
Well, I don't believe that he was wrong, but I will say this, and we touched on
it. He came to the rescue of his child.
Whatever food he gave that boy, you best believe his brothers and sisters got some of it. You better believe, because if she was smart, that's what she'd have did. If it was a hamburger, say, now cut that up, because now I'm gonna teach you that when we down, we all got to look out for each other. Cut that burger 4 ways. Each one of y'all take a piece, and you take 3 fries, and you take.
That's a great lesson to be learned and taught, Mikhail.
Yeah.
You know what? It don't work like that, man. You know, real talk. It don't work like that, man. You know what I'm saying? That ain't the reason why she did that, and she wasn't gonna do what you just said, and you know it. I like the way that you pieced that puzzle together. That's to show you how to share and be together and all of that. But man, come on, man, for real.
Well, it makes more sense to do. And once again, I don't think she was concerned with what makes sense. Her behavior dictated to me that she's not a person who's like really like, I want to make sure I'm being logical and reasonable here. And so, yeah, I wouldn't think she would have done that, but maybe he should have proposed that to her. Like, look, I didn't have enough money for all of them. So just split the shit up amongst them. Unless one of them was like 15 and then the other was like 8 and 4, you give him a little piece of the sandwich. You're like, I don't want this shit. But if he's 15,
on the spot,
if he's 15, he should have a job anyways. There's no way you can blame this man for bringing his son some food. Like I get what you're saying, but you ain't wrong for bringing your kid some food and so some other kids there. Oh well, that ain't my fault.
At that moment, he didn't think he done nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying?
What did he do wrong?
At that moment, he didn't think he did nothing wrong, but she used a female magic trick to make him feel bad for something he ain't got nothing to do with. You know? They all know how to do it. They all know how to do that motherfucking trick, man.
I think he was mad because that $8 meal got through.
He ended up rationalizing. I don't even think he was mad. He was mad because she threw it.
That's what I'm saying. He was mad because he just paid $8
He don't care about the money. He mad because she threw it, not because how much it cost. Man, like, is you really? He like, is you really for real? You know, come on, man. Yeah, you really? That's what you do. Is this what you do?
I don't think she
You know,
shouldn't have been
goddamn.
surprised. He shouldn't have been surprised. But she said it. It was just it's such a clip to watch. If you haven't seen it, before you make judgment on it, go and watch it. Because if it was fake, them motherfuckers should get like a whammy or something, some kind of ghetto hood.
Yeah,
film
Whammy.
You know, so they did do a good job of being fake if it was fake.
Yeah,
because that's thing. In my mind, I was like, man, I know a motherfucker like that. Like I said before, I'm like, that motherfucker crazy.
Yeah, maybe
you know
if I'm gonna give any ground, Ernest, I can agree with you in that. Maybe he should have been a little bit more slicker. Like, hey, send the dog out right quick. What? But she seemed like the type of, for what? He don't need to come outside with you, like be on that kind of shit. It's like, well, fuck.
She was already on him before he knew he was gonna get jumped. She was already in the window,
right,
putting him on Front Street. Shit.
Yeah, he ain't even pull up yet.
Because his shorty done told her, my daddy finna bring me something to eat.
Wow.
I'm sure she knew it.
Yeah, she was already ready.
Once again,
she had the motherfucking camera crew, everything set up for this nigga, man.
This how stupid she is. This how stupid she is, because she's foolish to think them 4 kids wasn't sitting around saying, we hungry. Hey, call your daddy and tell him to bring something, right? And little dude probably done told him, when you buy me food, you know, I don't they eat my shit up. So you say, you know what? Instead, next time I'm gonna put this in the bag, so you'll have something to give them. You don't know what I didn't even see what was in the bag. She didn't even see what was in the bag, right? Like, so
if you watch Willie D, I saw Willie D little podcast earlier. He said dude did have some extra apple pies in the bag and fries and shit too. You know what I'm saying? That's what Willie D said. I mean, I don't know if it's true or not, but he said dude had, like, you know, 4 apple pies, like your shorty them could eat too. But the bitch threw the whole bag. But I don't know, that bag that looked like it had enough for 4 apple pies.
Yeah, man. I can imagine how mad my daddy would have been if my mama had to threw the hog head cheese down on the street. Like, you ain't bring nothing for the kids. I would have been salty.
I remember that.
I'm bad about hog head cheese. Go ahead. I'm waiting on you. I said he go do some bullshit away. He gonna say something and shit. That dude don't like when I bring up.
Out, so I like it too. We both in trouble.
I remember when I was in St. Charles and the motherfuckers at St. Charles was like that, man. That's some bullshit. I remember I was there with this white girl and her dad brought her a motherfucking gyro. And what do? He brought me a gyro as well. And what the motherfuckers St. Charles say? Oh, no, you can't have that. You got to throw that away. Why? Why, niggas? Why? You part of that staff? Tell me why.
No, I'm glad you asked me that. I'm glad you asked me that, because you are right. I worked at St. Charles for a very long time in residential treatment. And what I can tell you is this: when we would have those situations, what I would do is I would have that kid go in the kitchen and eat, right? And I would tell him,
able to sit in front of everybody and eat.
No, you ain't. That staff was dumb as hell. You get in there, a riot started behind that shit. What you're supposed to do is say, look, when the parent brings it, then you tell the parent, look, it's 20 other kids in here. So if you bring him something perishable, like some cakes or something, or some pies in a package. Don't bring nothing like this in, because the other kids get upset. And so they said, well, I was going to do something for him. So what we would do is we would put that kid in the kitchen and close the kitchen door and say, eat your food. A lot of times those kids would say, no, I want to give so-and-so some. I said, now, if you do that, you're going to have to give everybody some, because you know they're going to flock you. So the kid would say, okay. So they end up sharing, or they end up eating their shit in the kitchen, going in their room and go to sleep, right? And so you ain't supposed to just put them out at the table and say, yeah, y'all eat y'all euros, and the rest of you motherfuckers tough shit.
See, that was haters on the female side then, because, you know, every chick who parent or somebody bought something, you was able to eat it. But if your parent or something bought something else for somebody else, it's like, well, you got to throw your shit away, but they can keep theirs.
Oh, no.
Like, nigga, what the fuck, man?
That's why I was always some goddamn code red on the girls' unit where they call all the sisters needed. We would go over there, 30 girls fighting and shit. Help us break it up. I'm like, I wish I would. I'm not touching one of these little heifers. I'm not. It's bedtime. They fighting in their PJs. They tearing the whole unit up. We all just, me and my coworkers standing there like, shit, y'all got to get some more female staff in here. I'm not breaking none of this shit up. So, yeah, the girls' unit was wild. But on our side, it was order. So we always said, nah, bro, you come, because a lot of kids, when I pick them up from break on weekends to take them back, they family be like, well, here, we just came from McDonald's, or we just came from an outing, or take this pizza. So the kid would have the food. So I said, when you get in the unit, leave your food in the kitchen. Then you come to get your bag checked and let me wand you down and give you your piss test. Oh, we was official like a referee whistle on ours. We wasn't no unsolicited banging on no single.
I don't remember ever getting wanded down when I come back from
being
AWOL.
What's happening?
Come on, K-Bull.
Yeah.
Let's get back to this food thing. Man, I know some people like motherfuckers made it to 90s and 100. They was eating hog mouth, chilies and greens and like a motherfucker. So, hey, I just wanted to hear what you had to say about that, man. Was they just lucky? What?
Well, two things. One is they ate a lot more and they had better quality vegetables too.
Right. They had real food and they were active.
You know what I mean? Their food was more sustainable.
And none of that GMO.
They may have been that old. And two, hey, check it out. And two, they may have been that old, but a lot of them had a lot of illnesses too. Was dealing with high blood pressure still. Diabetes still. You know what I mean?
That high blood pressure up.
No, I ain't saying nobody said you're gonna live longer one way or the other. You know what I mean? We just talking about how to feel better, man. How to eat to feel better. I ain't throwing no shade. I never throw shade on how nobody eat. You know what I mean, or what they eat. I just talk about what's better.
No doubt. That's why I proposed that question to you, because I knew you was gonna have a real legit answer to it. You know,
no doubt, my man.
Intelligent one. You know what I'm saying? That's what to do.
I never see a really healthy old person though. It's usually something broke down.
You can't knock each other. I've seen healthy old people.
I've seen one of our old church mothers. She probably pushing 90 now. I ain't seen her in a minute because I ain't been in church in a while, but I know she's still there, still driving herself to church at like high 80s, 90, still cooking, still, all of that stuff. But just like Kamar was saying, they had, back then the hog might have ate the table scraps and the garden scraps. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays on these commercial farms, they're like mad cow disease. That shit came from them feeding dead, crazy ass cows to live cows. They used to grind the dead cow up with the cornmeal and all that shit and put it back in the feed. So a lot of the meat that we that's fucking us up now is the same reason the vegetables fucking us up. Like now, you would have to eat 20 apples to get the same nutritional value of an apple that was around 50 years ago because of commercial agriculture. So commercial agriculture fucking all of us up. That's why they were able to live so long, because they hunted and they butchered their own shit, and all that shit that they hunted ate from the earth, grass or whatever nature had for them. But now with this commercial shit, they just eating whatever's cheap and gonna fatten them up because they get they cost they're more valuable by the weight. The farmers don't give a fuck if that's healthy weight or tumors. They just trying to get their money.
Yeah.
Once again though, like my grandmother, I don't know, she lived into 107, right? Yeah, but once again, she cooked in lard. She ate fried whatever. She didn't eat all vegetables. She ate greens, peas, beans, cabbage, stuff like that. And I said I never seen a healthy old person that don't have something wrong, because even though she was upright and mobile and was, for what you would think is healthy, she still had health issues. She still every now and then she'd be like, oh, my leg, my foot done swole up or something like that. It'd be like, okay, do this every other Wednesday.
That gout be coming back. That gout be happening on people, man.
I don't know, and I don't know that maybe it'd be fun to be a really old person and not have nothing be wrong with you and not have any sicknesses, and then just everybody else is dead. You just like the last old motherfucker. You ain't gonna have nobody to hang out with. So fuck. I mean.
And I'm not. Hey, and I'm definitely not saying that just because you eat a certain way you can't get sick.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Let me make that clear. Because again, we live a lifestyle. That's toxic.
Right.
We talking about from our environment. The people, the air. The food, again, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm not, don't let me make this clear. Just because you eat right now don't mean ain't nothing gonna happen to you.
Right.
Ain't nothing happen to you.
Right. You know the most
Don't get you
toxic
some hog head cheese.
Oh, yeah.
Do your thing.
Get you some hog head cheese.
Do your thing.
Go ahead, Real.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, you know, the most toxic time in most people's day is the time that they're getting dressed, because your skin absorbs 60% of what you put on it. So when you in your bathroom lathering up, shampooing up, toothpasting up, most of that shit, if you look at the back of it, it got chemicals you can't even pronounce. Yeah. And with your skin absorbing 60% of the things that you put on it, I tell people, if you look at the back of the shit you putting on your skin, and out of 10 ingredients, you can't eat 6 of them, why the fuck you putting that on your skin? So just like Kamar was saying, a lot of times people think, oh, I went vegan and I'm good, but they still putting aluminum ass deodorant on that's giving them breast cancer, and they still putting perms in their head, or you know, just some wild ass shit on them that ultimately leads to some fuckery. And then how God give my mama cancer. God didn't give your mama cancer. That same deodorant that's pink in to acknowledge breast cancer is the same shit that gave her breast cancer. So, you know, it's wild how they try to poison us from every angle, man.
And you just put me up on some shit, and I found it to be true that the mad cow disease comes from them feeding the cows bone and meat meal with mixing it with their oats. I did not know that. Yeah. So you put me up on one tonight.
Oh, well, hey, it's a pleasure to walk my purpose, G. You know that.
Yeah. I was like, if he ain't right, I'm busting his ass out. Don't be no on the show that don't know what you're talking about. And you know he got that foot like that, right? It's all just amalgamation made in the lab, and to be lying like a motherfucker. Sometimes you think, yeah. No, bro, that ain't true. No.
And I'm okay with being wrong, because when I'm wrong, I learn something new. Like, so I don't mind being corrected, because, you know, I appreciate that if you catch me in some shit I'm ass backwards about, because you better than me by dropping that knowledge on it.
I think the dub moment of the week goes to the Kia boy who was arrested, who was on the documentary. Right? Like, I see this is in the People's News Network, right? Like, and this, I don't, once again, when you jump in front of those cameras like that, and that's why I kept saying it looks staged, not staged by the fact that that this is not a problem in the city, but I felt like this was all somebody who kind of set things up. Like, okay, I'm gonna be over here at this time. It's like a Kardashian type thing. Like, we're gonna be here today. So you invite all the paparazzi, and then you be like, oh my God, everywhere I go. I don't know how they find out how we got here. Because you called them, motherfucker, and told them your publicist told them you was gonna be here. Like, that might be complicated for some people to figure out, right? Like, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, and the debate is that
now he definitely was scattered around on the block where they clearly showed the street sign and everything, where he
addresses and everything. Like, who snitched? Oh, really? So now they talking about they're gonna change the speed limit to 20 miles per hour in the city, which once again here now we start having people who's trying to get to work or home from work, getting pressure put on them because of this, right? And you're right, because guess what? The problem right now is that they won't stop, and that they're reckless drivers, and they go fast. What do you think, man? We would run from these police, but the speed limit only 20, cuz you gotta slow down up here. No, that's what I'm saying. Some shit you say and you think it makes sense when you say it until you hear yourself say it back, and you be like, that wasn't smart at all. What is that gonna do? We gonna okay now? Y'all want to be like that? Now the speed limit's even lower. They already running the 40 mile per hour speed limit. So you're gonna say, okay, I'm gonna make it 20. That makes no sense. It seems like this is just something you're gonna do to sweat people who, man, I'm trying to get home from work and shit. Like, I ain't a Kia boy. I'm clearly not a Kia boy. Right, so now the tickets go up, man. I hate shit like that.
That's all it is. Revenue for the, you know, it's to generate revenue, man. That's what they there for. Generate revenue.
Yeah, man. So what you brothers got coming up this weekend? Kamar, what you got this weekend? I know you said you was looking for something you was gonna put into effect on Saturday.
Well, I don't know. I'm thinking I'm gonna be at the Sherman Phoenix. So if y'all want to find me, you know, shoot up to the Sherman Phoenix.
Okay.
This Saturday. But tomorrow I'll be at the Fondy Market from 4 to 8.
Fondy Market, okay. That's on Fond du Lac?
Yeah.
Right across the street from the Milwaukee Mall. What used to be the Milwaukee Mall.
Okay, what you got popping, Rel?
You know me, shit, steady dropping this TikTok content, you know, trying to elevate minds. And then crazy thing is I slid down to see Kamar at the Fondy Market last week, and he introduced me to, you know, the owner of that Alice's Garden. So
Miss Venus.
Yeah, Miss Venus. So she invited me to come down on July 5th, I believe it's a Tuesday, to do like a circle discussion on my book and bring some of my books. So I got a shipment of books coming. Hopefully they get here before then. But shit, even if they don't, I'm gonna show up with what I got and talk my shit. And anybody who trying to see me, they could probably find me there on July 5th, which is a Tuesday at Alice's Garden.
That's
Come on down. I'm gonna have them products. I'm gonna have that tea with me too.
Do y'all think she would let
right
me
here?
Down there?
Pineapple, strawberry. I got the original too. So yeah, all 3 flavors in. Come see me.
That elixir of life.
She let me come down there and sell some homemade hog head cheese.
Hey, you know,
you can try.
Right?
Sure.
Can my booth be next to yours, Kamar, so they can get them some vitality, and then you wash this hog, get some hog head cheese, and wash it down with the vitality.
Hey, only problem
that's called balance. You know,
only problem is after leaving my table, they're gonna feel guilty coming to your table.
Oh man,
that's the only problem, man. So you might not want to be right next to my table.
Oh man, shit. Look, I'm gonna have my shit on ice when they get these cool slices of hog head cheese on these crackers. You be surprised. They gonna be thirsty. So I'm like, man, I just got me some hog head cheese. You buy one of them cheese, wash it down, cuz.
Right, man. Shit.
Hit us up, man. If you want to do business with Outlaw Radio, hit us up. Hit us up. I have to do a better job of kind of pushing it and promoting it. There's business opportunities. If you want to rock with us, man, on a certain level, man, you can get with us. Hit me up, 262-202-5131, moving ever so closer to really being able to get out and move the show and share the stage with my brothers when they at these kinds of events. As it would be love to be able to go down there when you do your book circle and be down there with, you know, and go live for Outlaw Radio and have that presented to the people, but it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, this is just one of many, fam. So you're gonna have your chance because I plan on getting out here a whole lot more and letting people you know, politic with me and just see what my whole movement is about.
Okay. Ewok, we finna close it out. What you got to add?
I was just finna tell you the coolest jackass I ever heard got ever get a goddamn motherfucking radio show, man. You're cooler than a motherfucker. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Hey, peace to all the brothers that, you know what I'm saying, that really know what you be trying to do. Peace to Rail, peace to K, peace to Court. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate all of y'all. One love, Outlaw.
For sure.
All right, my brother. Peace and love, man. Don't get out. Stay out that sun, man. Stay out that sun. Be careful.
Man, no doubt. I've been here in the house right now.
It was a lot more we could have talked about tonight because it's a lot going on, but that's a good thing about us coming back. So we'll be back Monday because I'm not going to do Outlaw Nation tomorrow unless something happens that kind of sets me in that direction. But I just want to say, man, we got to look out for each other, man. We got to be true to each other. She said, Sonya Thor said she wants to meet us all when she comes here. Hey, man, and that's what it's about for people to be able to come and really walk up to us in the community and say, man, I fuck with y'all. Y'all should talk about this, or y'all need to meet this person, and just kind of build that kind of network. So I'm down with that. You just got to remember, man, it's about us, man. We talked about last week, and it was obviously shout out to everybody who listened to the show. It was obviously a very good show because a bunch of people listened to it. And when we talked about giving white people power, right, I think it was one of the more poignant conversations we've had in a while to talk about. Most of the power that we lose is not taken from us, is given away by us. And you know, so you got to look, sometimes you got to reconsider your perception in the world. You might be approaching this thing and it's never been working out, but you keep blaming everybody else instead of looking at your own kind of processes and procedures, right? And so sometimes you've given something, someone, or some group, or some organization in a lot of cases, too much power. You've given them too much dominion over your life. You have to really be able to recenter yourself and say, I need to reclaim my own personal power. And if that's what Kamar is talking about when he's saying loving on yourself, really getting back to your root, getting back to your center, saying, no, I got to reinforce this building. This building, you know, old gospel songs say it's a creek in this old building, right?
And my soul,
right?
My soul.
I set that Jesus off, right? But yeah, man, And that's what it's about, right? And that's what it's about, man. It's like really getting, because once you get stronger and you get able to start doing the things you need to do, the first thing you want to do is tell somebody about it and tell them about your journey. And then that kind of thing inspires others to do well, or to at least try to do something different than what they're doing. Therein lies the terminology, each one teach one, right? So it ain't real complicated, right? We don't pretend to like talk nuclear physicism on the show. We don't talk about all kinds of different foreign crazy concepts that the people can't digest, because the whole point of what we really do is to tell people we ain't gonna try to tell you what to think. We only want to tell you to think, right? And when you take control of that and you start doing that for yourself, you'll be surprised how far you get in life, man. Think about it, man. Be true to it, right? It's got to be in you, not on you. Outlaw Radio, big Milwaukee, big Milwaukee. I represent the north side of Milwaukee wherever I go, whether people like it or not. It is what it is. It's entirely in me. Pause. It's in me. Big Milwaukee, being from the north side of Milwaukee, is in me. It ain't on me, man. And this is who I am, and I'm proud to be who I am, man. And I'm happy that I've been able to survive in a place where they really tried to keep you down to the point where you should have counted yourself out, right? That's what you got to remember. Start building yourself up instead of tearing yourself down. I'll see you brothers on Monday, man. We may speak before the end. We may not. But if we don't, I want y'all to know nothing but peace and love on this end, man. Outlaws for life, man. Word, mob, information, gang. I will see y'all next week.